Call 821-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Get your college football fix all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show. The king of college football brings you 2 hours of live and local college football talk throughout the year.
Weeknights from 6 to 8 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, September 21st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 94. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal at 9 a.m. Sorry for the typo there. And Chef Michael Johnson joins the show at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo! What's happening, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Another day of OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, Taylor hanging out with you. Thursday. Football week beginning anew. Quite easily the best college football weekend that we've seen. Shocking that Herbie and Fowler are coming to Baton Rouge Saturday night instead of heading to Eugene, Oregon. Exciting, though. We're going to talk some LSU-Arkansas. We're really probably going to spend a lot of time, though, breaking down some of these big games coming up this weekend. Ole Miss, Alabama is absolutely massive as Alabama's mental state is hanging on by a thread. Obviously, Ohio State, Notre Dame is just a early season heavyweight battle. And then even something like Colorado and Oregon. We're a big spread, but, I think it is kind of interesting, Jake. You played the law of transitive sports properties, and both teams played a okay Big 12 team on the road early on, and both teams got close wins. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's as large as maybe it would appear to be. Also, for the Pac-12, this is kind of the first major quarterback heavyweight on heavyweight matchup of many that we're going to see, right? We still got Penix Williams coming up. We got all of them. If Cam Rising's back, then it's like
we got
a great matchup every week.
And DJ UCam Ward, too.
Yeah, DJ UCam Ward this weekend. That's going to be excellent. So, a lot of good football to break down on today's show. How's everyone feeling today?
I'm doing great. It's Thursday. We've got NFL. We've got Georgia State Coastal. The Ducks won last night. Quack, quack.
Quack, quack.
And apparently NSYNC's back. So I'd say it's all good.
I saw a TikTok like a week ago with NSYNC. Did something else happen?
I think they're releasing a song.
Oh, wow. Like a whole-ass new song, not just like a reunion tour.
Yeah. Including Justin Timberlake. Who would have thought? Not me.
Yeah. Be honest, though. Are you going to listen to the new NSYNC song?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll give it a cursory listen. There's no way you're going to be in the car just vibing.
You don't know me
listening to
very
the
well
new NSYNC song.
if you don't think I'm not going to be playing that banger.
You're going to be playing it ironically to be like, see, kids, this is what your dad loved back in the day. You're not. You're saying you're going to be playing it like you would listen to like Otis Redding or Elvis or something. In your
like
car.
go to the, little deal on the phone, and yeah, I mean, for sure.
I can't imagine that's true when I think about what this song is going to sound like.
You didn't go to Shreveport Evangel,
He is a big
No,
NSYNC.
I loved NSYNC. That was like some of my favorite CDs. That Christmas album was one of my favorite Christmas presents ever. I remember listening to that thing constantly. Like in the NSYNC BSB wars of the late 90s and early 2000s, I was very much Team NSYNC. I love Brian. Randomly remember that he's a
From Backstreet Boys?
Oh, that is from Backstreet Boys.
Big NSYNC guy.
I meant JC Chazet.
Dang it, Bobby.
Brian was always what's his name's right-hand man? Who's the lead singer of BSB? Why am I blanking?
Kevin.
AJ, Nick, Brian.
Wait, how are we forgetting the
Kevin.
guy? No, the lead singer of Backstreet Boys.
I mean, you had Nick Carter.
Nick Carter. That's what I was
Nick
looking
Carter.
for.
There you go.
Nick.
I didn't hear you say Nick. Well, I was looking for a last name. Whatever. I always felt like Brian was Nick Carter's right-hand man and JC Chazet was JT's right-hand man. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah, I mean,
in the wars?
JC might have been like the lead singer. I don't know. It's a whole deal. We can get there.
No, that is true.
I mean,
so I ride a lot of
he's a
Peloton.
front man.
I ride a lot of Peloton, and Cody Riggs is very adamant that JC Chazet is the vocal lead of NSYNC. So I didn't know that. So I'll actually. So maybe you are a way bigger NSYNC fan. I guess you actually will probably listen to that car.
See, I told you. I tried to tell you.
Yeah, you brought me around.
Yeah,
you brought me around. Even though JC Chazet's solo career, I don't think went the way he
take
thought it was
off.
gonna.
Didn't take off.
Some girls dance with women. It's an awful song. It has got to be one of the worst songs that's ever been made.
Not great. It's not great.
What's up? How you feeling today, Mario?
I'm feeling good, man. Working tonight. Little Thursday night lights with Central.
Okay. Hell yeah. What about you,
Who
Taylor?
they playing?
They're playing East Jefferson.
East Jeff. All right.
Yes.
Taylor, you working tonight too?
I am not.
Okay.
Well, I mean, kind of. I'm going to the Kelly press conference this evening, but I'm not doing a game.
That counts. Mario would have certainly brought that up.
Yeah.
If I asked him that question. So.
No, I'm doing okay. A lot more tired than I thought. I put the panel behind T-Bob upside down, and it's absolutely driving me insane. I don't know if I want to get up right now and change it or wait till break.
Whoa.
I'm shocked y'all didn't see it up there.
No,
I was like, T-Bob's gonna make a comment.
It's all
I know it.
all I'm looking at now.
Dude, I know. Like, I noticed it when I was adjusting the cameras. I was like, I can't take my eyes off of it.
That's never happened. I've done a lot of radio shows here.
Well, I was adjusting it like behind
it's
it.
so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I did. I don't think I've ever done that.
No, why would you? I mean, it's legitimately upside down.
It's upside down.
The only thing that would be dumber would just be if you flipped it facing inward. Like, like if you just rotate it so you couldn't actually see it at all.
I think the back of it's. I don't think the back of it's red.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying literally the only thing that would have been dumber than doing it upside down would be that. So you're not as dumb as you could be, Taylor.
Thank you.
Okay? There's a little glass half full perspective.
That is the best compliment I will get all day.
There's a little glass half full perspective here on this Thursday.
I had to call it out. I was like, it's driving
Honestly,
good call.
I don't know if I would have. Maybe eventually I would have noticed, but
y'all were looking up there. I was like, how have they not noticed yet? That's the only thing I can look at.
We're focused.
I will eventually. Yeah, look, I'm focused on this weekend. I'm focused on these games. Focused on this LSU-Arkansas game, which I got to be honest, I will say, boys, I ended up playing at 17.5. I'm not telling anybody else to follow me into this. That is a very large number, but I feel like this is an LSU team that has taken a significant step up from last year. I feel like it's an Arkansas team that has taken a significant step back from last year. And while I like some of what I saw out of that offensive line and KJ Jefferson this week, again, I just think that LSU outclasses their defense in so many different ways. The one thing I'd be interested to see, Jake, and they have a new they have a new DC as well, right? Arkansas, am I crazy?
Yeah, because Odom went to UNLV.
Yes, so they have a new DC. And if you remember last year, Odom put together quite the game plan against his LSU offense, shut him down. Now, just off the rip, I feel like this year LSU is better suited to overcoming a game plan that kind of maybe stuns him a bit early on. But I felt like wasn't it a lot of dropping 8 into coverage last year?
Yeah.
And playing coverage. Two things. First, as we discussed earlier this week, that is not whose Arkansas has been this year. So it would be a bit surprising if suddenly they're just going to change up their entire identity. But even if they wanted to, I feel like even in this last game against Mississippi State, State tried adding numbers early and being willing to play single high, and they got burned for it. And then they tried dropping into coverage, and they still got burned for it. So, yeah, I think Jay Daniels' offense is going to roll. I think they win by double digits. I could see this game being 40-something to 21, something along that line. I think it is a better offense than Mississippi State, but I don't know. I don't think maybe concern in the secondary for LSU, but again, BYU was manned up on these Arkansas receivers and being pretty sticky on them, and so I don't think LSU's fallen so far that they can't emulate the BYU defensive backfield. That would certainly be disappointing if that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas is always one of those situations where they've been bad and it's been a close game with LSU.
Yep,
It does feel like one of those series. I know you and I have talked about that before, and so like some of that will always play into my mind when I'm talking about this game. Now, they were ranked a couple times when they gave LSU a fight. Like they were third, I think, in 2011, right?
Yeah.
And 06, we went to Little Rock and beat them as a tight game, but they were going to the SEC championship game that year. They had already had that clinch, and so some of those teams were really good teams, but it's a tough matchup. It's always one that probably plays better than it should. It did a year ago.
It's got a NFL divisional matchup sort of feel in that way.
So I'm going to go back and I want to look.
Sounds like you're a little scared.
I want to go back and look at what Travis Williams, who's a defensive coordinator last year, he was at UCF. I want to see, because if I see cover one be his main coverage, I'm going to feel really good about it, and I will follow you down that path.
Because you're saying that there's nothing for them to fall back on at that point.
Yeah,
right?
because if that's who they are.
Like if that's just who he is completely and wholly and not who he just thought he needed to be in these early matchups. Yeah.
26.1% of the time they ran cover one. So not the 47%, but it was their lead coverage. How about this? Last year at Central Florida, again, this is defensive coordinator Travis Williams, who's coming to Arkansas from UCF. He ran cover 0 11% of the time. More than he ran cover 2. So his main coverage his main coverage was cover 1 and then followed by 3 and then cover 0.
Good. I hope they keep that same energy.
Yeah, cover 0 to someone doesn't know out there, that means you have no over the top help.
Nope.
Basically everybody coming.
You are bringing enough numbers. I mean, generally it's going to be about 7 guys.
Yeah.
And then you'll be manned up with the 4 receivers out on routes. Unless you're like going full man and you go engage 8.
Oh, I love to engage 8.
And just wait on them to just try to get to the quarterback before he can make you wrong, which, again, I don't think that's going to play well against Jaden Daniels. Now, especially that Jaden has in his back pocket where he will just say, F it, I'm going to bomb it to Malik. That's the exact evolution that we talked about constantly with this LSU offense that was going to make them that much more dynamic, that much more dangerous, that much more indefensible. And, you've seen it 2 games in a row now with these pretty deep balls. Like, I feel like it's pretty sustainable. Now, what I don't want, Jake, is if you throw one of these and you throw a pick, I don't want you to be scared to go back to it. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to what Brian Kelly said last. If you got one-on-one, you got to engage in the risk. You know what? Maybe it flutters on you. Maybe you have that pass. Trust your receiver to break it up, knock it down. If it gets picked, though, don't bail on it. Because the second you bail on it, that's when suddenly you allow maybe this pressure package, cover 1 identity to become more of an issue.
Yeah, that's why when you have a deep receiver room, you have to trust them. It can't just be Malik Neighbors. They're going to have their best cover guy. Oh, Malik Neighbors. Okay, well, he's going to win some of those matchups, but also that means you're going to have Brian Thomas on somebody that's not their best cover guy, whoever that receiver, Chris Hilton, or if it's Kyron Lacey, and you have to take advantages of those as well. And so, like, if their 4th best cover guy is on Chris Hilton, you like that from an LSU perspective.
True.
So you have to also trust those receivers because you have a deep room. I know in week 1 there was certainly some drops, but you got to get that trust back, and they're going to try everything they can to stop Malik Neighbors. At least they should. If they don't, then you take advantage of it, and you just laugh because they didn't.
You think you just try to D him up with Dwight McGlothern?
Probably to start.
Yeah.
I mean, Dwight thinks he's that type of player, and look, he's a really good player. And if this year they've been an aggressive team in coverage. Last year the defensive coordinator was. I think they just think that's who they can be. I mean, I would be shocked if they came out and just sat in quarters.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you last year at UCF he ran quarters 16% of the time. I mean, that's not that much more than he ran 0.
No, I agree. It's not their identity. It hasn't been their identity. It's just that their identity feels weak in this matchup. So
it does.
We'll see. We'll see how much he is willing to customize a game plan week to week. I mean, what would you do? Like even something like the NFL, how real is that? Like in terms of completely changing, I feel like it probably is real, but
NFL's it's more doable than it is in college. In the NFL, well, I mean, one, you got pros and you got older veteran guys, and everything's kind of always up. You always have to be able to adjust to it, and you're there all day. You get there at 5:30 in the morning, you're there till 5:30 at night, and so there's no school. You go over everything. The game plan can change from week to week. In fact, it does change from week to week, and you could get that done at that level. I don't remember really having wholesale changes in the playbook in college offensively. We would have a wrinkle. We played in the SEC championship game in 2007, and we put in ISO that week. I don't know if do you remember that? We put in ISO that week, and we weren't an ISO team. And we're like, hey, we're going to run ISO. Because whoever played them before, they had a lot of big runs and head hitters on that. And so they're like, hey, we're going to do that as well. And it was successful for the first 3 times we did it. They adjusted, and we went away from it. That's really one of, you can do that.
Yeah, I agree.
You can put in, a run, a pass concept, maybe a trick play or 3 might be the most you can possibly put in. But you're not going to have, wholesale changes.
No, actually, BYU did use a double pass to score
touchdown,
against Arkansas last week. So if you want to do something like that, LSU, maybe that's open to you. All right, when we get back, let's maybe discuss keys to the game, maybe your biggest Achilles heel, maybe what you're most worried about, and then I think we're going to transpose eventually into just a lot of college football talk here on this Thursday. Who's playing tonight in the NFL, boys?
You got Giants. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. We'll probably talk a little Niners-Giants, too. That's pretty interesting. When we get back, more Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yes,
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota running away. It's the best deal. You're going to score a touchdown. Be like Gus Johnson yelling in your ear. You're going to be so pumped up. You want to go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. The lease on the Camry's finally up, boys. Finally up. So my journey to my next Toyota begins anew. I am dangerously close to just going second minivan. Dangerously close. Just straight up going second murdered out mini.
Just 2, yeah.
We'll see.
Why not?
We'll see. I'll let you know after I check.
You heard, Hans? 18 cup holders.
18 cup holders, bro. Best car ever. It's my favorite car I've ever owned. But look, maybe minivan's not for you. Know what it is for you? All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
And you can go check out all the new vehicles, obviously. You can check out the leases like T-Bob and I, or you can go check out the rentals. Per-day rental prices if you have a vacation, a trip coming up, maybe going to watch a game. Check it out on the homepage, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. Luke Johnson on the Saints. We'll get ready for LSU and Arkansas inside Tiger Stadium. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. T-Bob, Jake, and the boys hanging out with you today. Taylor, you raised an interesting hypothetical during the break. So I agree with Brian Burgess. Huge congrats on Coach Kim Mulkey in his statue unveiled in Ruston yesterday. Go Dogs. Player statue, too. Looks cool. You know, the braids, everything. Beautiful statue. Sometimes those things can go awry. See Cristiano Ronaldo. But Taylor raised an interesting hypothetical where, okay, so she has a statue as a player at Tech. I would assume that she will end up with a statue at LSU. I mean, she's already got one national championship. It's a guarantee if she gets another, probably already won because it's the only one you've ever had and everything. So whatever. And then Baylor as well. I mean, how many championships did she win there? 2 or 3?
It was at least 2, it may be 3.
It was at least 2. I know that.
Yeah.
And obviously she was there for 20 years. You know, the most consistently successful sports program that I believe Baylor's ever had, unless there's like a meat judging team or something. Even though I think the meat judging team heavyweights are actually like Kansas State and Texas A&M. The A&M makes sense there. I didn't know about Kansas State. But yeah, Taylor raised a good point. Jake, she could be, I mean, would she be the first ever person with statues at 3 different colleges?
I can't imagine there's anybody else.
Right?
I'm sure the list of having 2 is not long. You know what I mean?
True.
The only person I can think of, and it's not a statue, although he might have a statue at Duke. I've never been on campus. Alabama has a statue of every coach that's won a title, which includes Wallace Wade back in like the late 20s. And Duke's football stadium is Wallace Wade Stadium.
Yeah, the Wallace Wade Wackos.
So he's got a statue and a stadium and may have one there too. So he's the only one I can think of that multiple.
General Wallace Wade. Love Braveheart. It's a good movie. Murray says Angel Reese, Joe Burrow, and Coach Kim Mulkey need a statue at LSU.
Yeah, Joe will get one.
I mean, if you win a Heisman and a Natty, you get a statue, right? Like I think that definitely plays.
Yeah, Billy Cannon too.
Billy Cannon's got one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Billy and Joe both fit those qualifications.
Yeah. I mean, Angel does too. Then kind of, I mean, you know, double every game, legendary season, national championship.
Would she maybe have to do one more thing, like a player of the year on top of the national title? to get one.
I mean, it sounds harsh, but statues are
That's what I'm saying. Like Mulkey for sure.
It's a big bar. I
she'll be here for a while.
I see what you're saying. It's a valid question. I'm not sure. But you know what? Let's not lose the thread here. The first thing is congrats, Coach Kim Mulkey. Awesome to have a statue built in your honor. Shout out.
Hey, so I'm reading an article because I was just curious and I was trying to Google from 2011 college football coaches that eventually will just deserve a statue because Nick Saban's the year that he got his, and so it has Coach Saban. Then it has Les Miles at LSU. Then it has
this is from when? 2007?
2011.
Oh, 2011. Okay.
Coaches that eventually will get a statue.
No,
Urban Meyer at Florida is the next one. Gene Chizik at Auburn is the next. Mac Brown at Texas.
That one still kind of plays.
Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, yes.
Yep.
So
deservedly.
When we get down, Gary Patterson at TCU.
No.
No, but man, he did a lot for that program.
I'm not. Again, the statue barrier is harsh and unforgiving.
How about this? This guy's still going. Cal Whittingham at Utah.
Well, why am I so mean to Gary Patterson? But my instinct is to give it to Kyle Whittingham.
Maybe because what TCU's done after, they just made the national championship a couple years after letting Patterson go.
Yeah, but he built that program from the WAC to the Mountain West.
He had all of his top 5 finishes. Yeah, he guided them into the Power 5.
Oh, Conference USA, then to the Mountain West, and then to the Big 12.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to have to say Whittingham no as well.
Okay, Chris Peterson, Boise State. He went to Washington.
Yeah,
probably.
I could see him maybe doing it, though. Because, again, Peterson did wake up Boise State, maybe more, but I guess it's the same thing as Whittingham.
Chris Alt at Nevada. He was the guy that had the pistol. I think he created the pistol.
Colin Kaepernick. That would have been Colin Kaepernick times then. Okay.
Yeah. And then Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech.
Beamer seems so likable that maybe you just build Beamer a statue. It just seems awesome. If you build Beamer a statue, do you do the gourd? Or do you ignore it?
I mean, you make it look like the person, right?
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, that's the obvious answer. Maybe you do a younger Beamer when it wasn't as pronounced, but you obviously have to do that for sure.
All right.
And then maybe you put special teams on it or something. I don't know.
And by the way, that was in order of how this writer thought that the statues would go.
That's
and
so
it's actually
funny,
probably reverse it is probably the better order now, 12 years later.
Murray says Pete Carroll at USC. Yeah, that should probably be true. Lars, the head coach of Coastal Carolina baseball. Yeah, I mean, I would say. Krista Kissinger, Bear Bryant may have multiple. Is there one at Kentucky or A&M? There's definitely not a one at A&M because Bear Bryant left under awful circumstances. Pulled the old classic Saban leaving the Dolphins where he was like, I got a game to get ready for. I am not going to be the next head coach at Alabama. And then immediately after they lose that next game at A&M, which is a massive game, I think it's Rice or something, he left and went to be the head coach at Alabama. So, no, I don't think so, dude. I don't think so.
I don't think he has one at Kentucky either. I don't remember seeing one last time I was there.
Okay, and Coach Mulkey won 3 at Baylor. So 4 total. Shoo, boy, that's a legend right there, man. Scored a Fonz really in chat. Thank you. Look at this. Landon Lambert. Impressed the boys of the bowling alley last night with how fast I peed thanks to the Kegels. Thanks for life-changing advice, T-Bob. You're welcome, Landon. In case you all missed it, I've been trying to explain during Whiskey and Wine what a life-changing activity daily Kegels have been in multiple different ways. And if you want to talk about it more, boys, right, we can do that.
I'm good.
Okay, back to LSU-Arkansas. Boys, you know what feels a little weird?
Going from Kegels to Arkansas?
No. Yes, maybe, but no. Playing for the Golden Boot when it's still this hot out. You know, I feel like the Golden Boot is normally when there's more of a crisp in the air. You got turkey in your belly. You're flirting with winter. It feels a little odd, but make no mistake, we haven't even mentioned it yet on this show. You are playing for the best trophy in all of college football this weekend. The most dangerously serrated, heavy trophy in all of college football. Actually, not true. You know what the heaviest trophy in CFB is?
I would have thought it was the Golden Boot.
No? I wouldn't know. I never got to touch it. Only kids who didn't play like to lift it. I don't know why.
The first one's over there.
Chief Cato, I believe.
Oh, yeah, but Northwestern and
Stephen F.
Austin,
I believe.
or Sam Houston State, one of the two.
It's one of the two, but I know it's Northwestern. Northwestern State.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Shut up. What were we talking about? Oh, the Golden Boot. So I'm very excited. So with that in mind, Jake, give me your biggest key to retaining the boot in Baton Rouge.
Stopping KJ Jefferson.
Okay.
Because he's the only if Rocket Sanders plays, that changes. If he plays, it's stopping him, and if he doesn't, it's stopping KJ Jefferson. Because I believe offensively, after the game last year, you will have success this year. Last year, right? You weren't ready for that game.
No, you're not.
If they stay true to who they've been so far in the first 3 games, both teams, I think you have a lot of offensive success. You got to stop KJ Jefferson. He is a guy that he hasn't shown it this year. A lot of people are very high on him. He can play really, really well and kind of take over a game because of his style of play. If Rocket Sanders plays, he's one of the better running backs in the country, but he's missed like 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks in a row. So it's got to be KJ Jefferson for me. All
right. Boys, do y'all have any other takes? Do you have anything opposite when you look at this matchup?
Not really.
Taylor, anything? I would say, okay, so if it is stopping KJ Jefferson, which again, I think that I'd say yes, because we think he's going to do great. How do you stop KJ Jefferson? Then becomes the next point. And I think you can win with 4 in the pass rush, right? So if you're a little concerned about your secondary, it's maybe looked a little suspect at the time, though again, I don't think that this Arkansas core of weapons are the most threatening. But if you are concerned with your secondary, you know it helps adding number set coverage a lot of times. And so if you can, it's the oldest thing in the book, right? If you're going against a great quarterback, what is the number one way to give them trouble? To be able to get pressure with just 4. And the problem is that's, really hard to do for the majority of teams. Like everybody's like, I always love that with Tom Brady, where, after the Giants hit it to him in a couple Super Bowls, everybody's like, how you got to stop Brady? Get pressure with 4. Okay, all it took was like the most legendary defensive line of all time to consistently pull that off. So that's not par for the course. But I saw an Arkansas O-line that's okay, but looks susceptible in the pass rush. I see Harold Perkins, whose pass rush win rate is exploding through the roof right now. Mekhi Wingo has always been a force to be dealt with. Savion Jones is getting good pressure. Braden Swinson's kind of maybe, taking a little bit step in the shadows after really flashing during that Florida State game, but still think he'll have some say in this. So yeah, I think that if you want to stop KJ Jefferson, I think that defensive line winning those one-on-one battles is probably going to be your best bet to doing so.
Yeah, and we talked about, I believe on Monday, I'm curious how you use the spy situation and how much you use it compared to how much you rush Harold Perkins, because it does make you a little bit nervous when everything breaks down. It's a pass situation, and here comes that little channel where he can fit in, and he's 240 pounds, and all of a sudden you look up, he's got 11 yards. You do that a couple of times. Like, how much do you change? What do you initially start the game plan with? So that's why I say KJ Jefferson's kind of key here, and more with his legs and his arm.
More with his legs.
Yeah, more with his legs and his arm.
So you're saying you do a lot of spy? BYU had some success rushing 3 and spy.
No, I'm saying no. You still mix it up.
Okay.
Yeah, you still mix it up. He's going to have design quarterback runs too. I mean, we saw that against BYU. Now, how much, I don't know, because last year that was a big knock against Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator. Felt like they ran him too much, and he couldn't stay healthy.
When they tried it this last game, it did not go well.
Yeah.
No, it did not go. They tried to call it on like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Kind of gross. Tried to maybe zig when they thought they were going to.
But if Rocket Sanders plays in this game, does it work better because you're paying more attention?
I think everything probably works a little bit better. I mean, obviously, if Rocket Sanders plays in this game, because the other running backs were not dynamic at all against BYU. And, again, I don't think the offensive line did the best job, but I feel like Rocket Sanders still would have made them look significantly
better. They had a running back hit a long, ended up being in the end zone.
Yeah, they did. They did a very.
But it was one of the better block plays
blocked,
that.
Dude.
I mean, I think I could have still found a way to maybe get some yards on that play.
Yeah, that thing was clinic.
Everybody got their fits for sure.
Do we know Rocket Sanders is just going to be a game time decision? I'm guessing they're going to play Coy all week long.
Yeah, he's a game time. Another injury report came out yesterday, and then Pittman was like, Well, he's been out at practice, but he hasn't participated in all the drills. We'll see how it goes. I personally think he's probably playing because it's LSU-Arkansas. What are you saving him for? But we'll see what happens.
I mean, that's how I feel about Cam Rising, but he keeps not playing. Which he better play this weekend. Nobody's more injured than Utah. Utah has 16 players from the 2 deep hurt right now. It looks like Kyle Whittingham's quest for the three-peat, Jake, may get messed up just by bad injury luck, but we'll see. All right, when we get back, we continue to talk about this game, maybe get into some of the Saints news. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Co. CommunitySteelCo.com. That's Community Steel Company. That's in Gonzales, Louisiana. That is a local boots-on-the-ground company. Go check out that 15,000 square foot warehouse, and guess what? They're over doubling warehouse because their customers are unbelievably satisfied right now with the quality of the product, the price of the product, and the process of attaining the product. Because you can just drive over to their Gonzales right now and pick up all the purlin, tubing, steel buildings that you need, that you want for your business. They have a live and local sales team which you talk to. It's just great vibes all the way around. CommunitySteelCo.com.
You can go see them in Gonzales, and the good thing about it is when you pick up the phone and give them a call, 225-647-2020, the person you're talking to is in that building that you can go see in Gonzales, not somebody that's far away. You talk to them right here, local, CommunitySteelCo.com, 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinite.
this Sunday as we bring you 3 NFL games, starting with our noon kickoff, the New England Patriots against the New York Jets. Immediately following that game, it's the Chicago Bears against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then our nightcap, the Steelers and the Raiders. Tune in here on 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Basically, anything jock jams works for laser tag. You just load up jock jams and go have a good time. I remember when I was younger in Atlanta, there were these places where it was laser tag in a giant bounce house. That was awesome. Very fun. Jumping around like you're on the moon, flipping around, landing, diving. God, laser tag was fun back in the day. So it was paintball. Y'all do an OTB paintball day? Have the boys played paintball ever, Jake?
Yeah, they've played. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that was something more, though, when you and I were growing up. It's still popular, but I feel like it was the height of its popularity when you and I were growing up.
I found my old paintball gun about 2 months ago.
Did you have an angel with the butterfly?
That was a spider.
Oh,
was
a
brown.
spider. Hell yeah. I mean, angels were like the big
yeah,
money
spider.
gun back
It was
in the
it was
day.
all black.
Spiders
the barrel
were good,
came
though.
off. Yeah, they were good. No, I used to be into it. I had a jersey, I had the helmet, I had the gun, everything.
Did you have the what was it, the butterfly trigger where you
you could
double, you just rotate, tippy tap your fingers.
had a couple cans where I could open it and feed the paintballs quick.
Heck
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
dude.
There was a place out in Denham. They used to have a
You
place
could
when I
probably
was
have some beast
Well, so it was a batting cage place, but they had like an area in the back where they set up a course. Yeah, we used to have birthday parties there all the
What
time.
are you talking, in the woods or with like giant inflatables?
Both. He had both. He had a woods course and a inflatable course.
Is it still around?
The batting cages, I don't know. I haven't been in a long time. It may still be there.
It'd be fun to do paintball. I've been to Is paintball like wrestling? Does every young lad go through a paintball phase at some point? Or definitely say it was a phase for me and my friends. It was like 6 months where we'd like go in the woods and play and stuff.
We did it for like 2 years in junior high. By the time I went to high school, like we didn't really do it anymore.
Did you ever go through paintball phase? No?
Not really.
Okay. Did you ever go through a wrestling phase?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Mara?
Not
I got
really.
2 words for you.
I went paintballing like once when I was like 12.
Were you scared? I remember the first time I went, I was really scared.
Oh,
I was at like a
kind of.
birthday party, so I was trying to knock that scared, but I was like behind a bunker, like, as the paintballs are whizzing over your head. Don't want to get bruised.
I was having fun by the end. I would do
Always
it again.
heard like legends of like some people bring frozen paintballs.
Yeah.
Super dangerous.
Right.
Oh man, who would do that? Awful people.
You.
I would not bring frozen paintballs. It is actually super dangerous. Nicole Stillwatt says airsoft LARPing is super intense. I do. One thing my algorithm serves me. Do y'all ever watch airsoft videos? People in like full. It's like seems really big in Europe. But people in like full, Call of Duty military outfits with like airsoft guns that look like real, whatever kind of gun you want, like even like 50 cal snipers, but it's just an airsoft gun, and they play in like abandoned castles and stuff. It's actually really cool. Looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
My algorithm hadn't gotten me there yet.
No. My algorithm is really digging deep into my brain in terms of things I enjoy. It's hitting spots that I didn't even know that I wanted. Oh, my phone's dead. I was going to look up something last night. It blew my mind. I don't remember what it was. So.
How's your phone already dead?
Did a charger last night. My wife's friend came over, so I gave them the bed, and I slept on the couch. Yep, because I'm a gentleman, okay? It's called chivalry, Mario. You could take a note or two,
It's not dead, and T-Bob
Not
proved
dead.
that.
Obviously.
I'm very chivalrous. What are y'all talking about?
I don't know. I don't how you talk about Cardi B, Mia Khalifa. Like I don't.
Well,
I
they're
don't find
both
these comments to be very chivalrous.
total trash, but okay.
Whoa!
If you're chivalrous, you can't say that.
Yeah.
You literally can't say that. It's a hard and fast chivalric rule. Okay. So,
You have to earn the respect. You can't just.
No.
Do whatever
if
you
you're a
want.
real knight. You defend women at any cost.
Okay.
No matter what.
No matter what. You sounded like the men commercial with the twins.
Which one?
Good, fresh, clean feeling. No matter what.
Oh, wow. I forgot about those guys. Okay, yeah, it looks like there are some. No, Avo, my algorithm is not furries in Airsoft Wars. Airsoft Wars, yes, but no furry content in my.
Well, Furry Murray.
Touche. Hoisted on my own petard. It would appear that I indeed am into furry content. Daily furry content. Because that is a hirsute little man right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's like a huge community, man.
Yeah, furries?
Yes,
Yeah.
like there is a lot of them. Maybe
You
not
know-
in our area, but there's a lot of them.
The internet has led to just a ton of thriving niche communities.
Okay,
And I
don't
love
judge me on this because I feel like this is a
Cannot
positive.
wait to see the.
I don't exactly know what a furry is.
Okay, so I think that's fair. I would say that it is someone who is, well, they kind of, enjoy dressing up as animals and role playing as animals and having sex with one another.
Okay.
Is what I would say.
I've heard the term
7:45,
used.
Taylor.
I
You
didn't
couldn't have
actually
asked.
know what it is.
7:45. You couldn't have waited 15 minutes to ask that.
I didn't know what it was.
Well, you knew.
You kind of knew. I mean, I'm guessing
I knew
you
it was
are
someone who
I'm
dressed
guessing-
up.
yeah.
I just didn't know like the basis of it.
Maybe I'm wrong in the sex front. Maybe it is just the
Okay.
basic act of wanting to role play as a kind of animal. So
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I think that's more what it is.
I do think though that there is
So it's kind of like cosplay but animals.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure they have
Got it.
some club at LSU or something. Could probably do some research.
Maybe so. That's what I'm saying. It's cool, man. Look, I like niche communities. I like when people find other people that they're, that are into the same thing they're into, as long as it's legal. Mario, your murder group, not allowed. But as long as it's legal, yeah, that's cool, man. Go for it. Have y'all seen this little toy store? Or whatever. Okay, let's go to break. When we get back, we'll try to get the show back on the rails. We got a lot of college football to talk about, okay? Okay, a lot of college football coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
No. Caleb Brignac, this topic seems so appropriate for Arkansas week. I agree. Sam Pittman, hog furry. Confirmed. You could see it, couldn't you? Put a little pig nose on that man. Hey, you drink enough Noel tequila? Maybe. How many? How many shots? All the shots. The official tequila of LSU Athletics. You want to win the Golden Boot? You won. Noel's Family Distillery Tequila. I'm going to visit the distillery this afternoon, Jake. Going to go tour it, get a firsthand view of how the operation works. Very excited. Remember, Nally Noel went to Mexico, studied the agave plant, how they make the tequila, created a unique mixture of high and lowland agave, added some notes that she thought represents the state of Louisiana, and now Louisiana has their first ever tequila. And again, the official tequila of LSU Athletics. It's like a crazy sentence. I love that. So, and they have great pickle vodka, they have great sweet rum. Kind of, they got this thing started back in the day. So, you want tequila? You want Noel. Noel Family Distillery.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your fruit there's a planet deep inside of me.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 30
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Getting you set for your football weekend. Ryan Clark, Fantasy Blitz, Mike Triplett. It's all Thursday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Come, my lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. Come, my lady, come, my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. Such a sexy, pretty little thing. This paper bitch, you got me sprung with your tongue ring. And I ain't gonna lie, cause your loving gets me high. So to keep you by my side, there's nothing that I won't try. Butterflies in her eyes and her looks to kill. Time is passing, I'm asking, could this be real? Cause I can't sleep, I can't hold still. The only thing I really know is she got sex appeal. I can feel.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Who sings the song?
Crazy Town.
Actually, the lead singer of Crazy Town, noted Furry. I remember reading back in the day that he wrote this song about his neighbor's dog. I'm just kidding. None of that is true.
That's upsetting that you made that up, honestly. I was like, that's hilarious.
It would have been perfect. It was a little too perfect.
Yeah.
I'm upset that you made that up.
Oh, man.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get this hour back on track.
That's okay. We got
You got a punt. You got a for instance point.
Yeah. I think in hour number 2 we can regain some of the sports. So, because again, I've got a ton of thoughts on all the big games coming up this weekend. Be it Alabama, Ole Miss, Ohio State, Notre Dame, which is the biggest one easily. I mean, what we got? Colorado, Oregon. You don't think Ohio State, Notre Dame's biggest? Top 10, baby.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting conversation we can have in hour number 2, and I'd love to go around the room. Which team of all the 14 teams involved in a top 25 matchup has the most to gain from a win?
For me,
let's think about it during the break.
Tease.
Yeah,
Little tease. Let it marinate a little bit.
Tease. It's a great question.
I'm
really
excited
good
to give my answer
because
I
don't think it's as easy to say the top ranked team or what. I think there's a couple of different points you can go across.
All right, we should mention this. Marcus May suspended for 3 games. At first it sounded like it was something like substance abuse, steroid, or something like that, but this goes back to the DWI, right?
Yes, apparently.
So this is the same thing as Alvin Kamara finally serving his suspension. Marcus May finally going to serve his suspension as well. Not as impactful as Alvin Kamara, obviously. In fact, this year, haven't you said, Jake, that's been kind of one of things you've been focusing on is May struggling a bit?
Yeah, I think he has. Certainly when you compare him to the other 10 guys out there on defense, and he's graded out as one of the lowest players. The play against Bryce Young in the middle of the field, I can't get that out of my head. I mean, he just literally just runs by him and doesn't make a move to tackle him, to trip him, to do something. he's not been the player that you signed him to be. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah,
he got a big contract.
He got a big deal, and he was supposed to replace. Okay, hold on. I'm getting my safeties confused. Was it Von Bell or was it the
Marcus Williams?
Marcus Williams. That's right. Yeah. Excuse me. It was Minnesota Miracle. Which sucks that I call him Minnesota Miracle because he was actually awesome outside of that play. But that's them's the breaks sometime. May's been disappointing thus far, but the Saints defense has been fine without him. So I'm not overly concerned. It doesn't do anything to any win-loss probabilities or anything in my mind that May's suspended for 3 games. I'm just excited to get through this 3rd game and get Alvin Kamara back, right? Because I feel like he represents a bit of a panacea for the Saints offense right now.
You had one running back basically up for the game. Now, Tony Jones Jr. came in and ran hard. That was great to see.
Love seeing him score.
But, that group's got a lot of talent, but you only had one guy available out of the group. So getting Kendre Miller back, getting Alvin Kamara back, you have to imagine that helps the run game. Now, the guys up front got to do their job as well. Mm-hmm. They haven't been good in either phase, pass blocking or run blocking. So they gotta help whoever is back there out.
True. So we'll see. And maybe we see a lot more Taysom just running the ball this Sunday, like we talked about with Nick yesterday. I don't know what the hang up there is, but finally at the end of the game, you were just lining him up and it was hitting. We'll be hitting in hour 2, breaking down an incredible college football weekend.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Patient Plus Urgent Care, Patient Plus UC.com. And again, y'all, I want to tell you about the new Patient Plus membership. If you go into Patient Plus, you can just go sign up there. So it's a monthly payment, okay? $20 for individuals, $40 for 2 people, $60 for 3. Then every subsequent person, $10 after that. So you got a big family, gets an increasingly good deal. You pay for the year up front, you get 10% off. And if you're thinking, T-Bob, I don't, subscribe so many subscriptions. Well, here's the deal, though. If you go just twice in a year, you are already coming out ahead. Okay? And what this allows you to do, this membership, Jake, unlimited visits. Right. So it's not even just twice. This isn't, you get to go twice. No, unlimited visits, all the shots, everything you need. Patient Plus Urgent Care. Check out the membership today. Go to patientplusuc.com, patientplusuc.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, September 21st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 94. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal at 9 a.m. And Chef Michael Johnson joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Munchies. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Hour number 2, we're going to talk a lot of college football this hour. I got to say, though, boys, now that we're a little bit into it, I still love Twitter and everything. X has got to be the worst rebrand in history. It's just awful. It looks so seedy. It just feels like, I don't know, every time I get sent an X link, it just feels like pornography. I don't know. You know what it kind of feels like now, these Twitter streets? And again, I still love it because it's the best place to have debates, conversations, talk about sports. A lot of niche communities thrive on Twitter. But you know what it feels like? You know when you're like watching a movie and maybe it's like a kid's movie, and when you're in the bad part of the city, it's all like neon lights and like women in fishnets and maybe like some drug users and like dirty puddles on the ground. Like that's the feeling that I get strolling these Twitter streets nowadays.
Really?
Yeah.
So like Bourbon Street?
Yeah, a bit, yes, but like the Hollywoodized version of Bourbon Street that you see in all those movies when we were.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I feel like early on people were complaining about Elon to just complain, but he's really gone off the rails with all the changes. And now the rumors that you might have to pay for it is very concerning.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that feels like a soft balloon. They're floating. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Whatever. If you do, that's going to probably kill it. But I don't know.
I'm going to keep saying Twitter on the intro. It just feels weird to say follow us on X.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, everybody can say whatever they want. I don't care. I just mean in terms of like an actual rebrand, rebranding it as X, which first off I think is just a lame, awful name. But then also, as somebody pointed out, like they want to call everything posts, not tweets, right? A post could be anything from anywhere on the internet. If I said tweet, you knew exactly what I was talking about. Little bird was friendly. Little, when you send off a tweet is great.
Oh,
I know. It's crazy. Still love it, though. Still a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's still firmly number one. Threads ain't it.
No. Well, it's the only place you go to talk, right? Instagram, everybody goes to show.
Yeah.
To put out, look at this, look what I'm doing. This is kind of cool. Or maybe to advertise. Twitter is the place that you go to talk, debate, celebrate, complain about your quarterback not being good, complain about other people's quarterbacks not being good. relish in the sad tweets of other college football fan bases. And if you love relishing in said tweets this weekend, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of sad boys and a lot of happy boys out there in the X-verse. You know what's crazy to think about? Which game do you want to start with? Let's visit Jake's question first. What was it, Jake? Who has the most to gain? Is that how you framed it?
Yeah, of these 14 teams, because there's 7 ranked-on-ranked matchups, which one has the most to gain if they were victorious? Because I don't think that's just a easy, who's the highest-rated team? They can move up a couple spots. I think different people are going to have different answers, and I'll start off. I think Clemson has more to gain than anybody else in any of these ranked-on-ranked matchups, and they're only ranked in one poll.
I was going to say, I didn't think they were ranked.
They are. They're ranked in the coaches poll.
Okay.
They're not ranked in the AP poll. When you look at what they have to gain, think about they got their butts kicked by Duke, okay? They were bad in the first half against Charleston Southern, all that. If they come out at home and beat Florida State, the number 4 team, they immediately regain control of the ACC, and they immediately put themselves back into the conversation. Now, they're not going to jump to number 5, but they'll jump back to 13, 14 maybe even. Mm-hmm. And then there's enough still left in the ACC with UNC, with Miami, with Duke that, whoever they play, it might be Florida State again in a championship game. So Clemson, who was left for dead, basically dirt on the grave, all they got to do is win this one game, and they're completely back into the conversation. So if teams to gain, it has to be Clemson for me because of who they're playing, where they're playing them, and what it can do for their season if they just get this one singular win.
It's interesting that's the game you chose because my brain immediately went to that game as well, but on the complete opposite side of the docket. I think FSU has the most to gain. I think in that LSU win, FSU, I think if they win this game and win convincingly, they should be the number 1 team in the country. No one else will have a better resume than what Florida State is bringing to bear. I think it's a situation for FSU, if not now, win, right? Kind of similar to what I would say on Ole Miss, except FSU is more so than Ole Miss, I would say. I mean, you're elite everywhere, and I don't care about the stats because FSU statistics are not overwhelming this year. Again, partially that's a function of playing a very good LSU team. But what I do care about is after watching the team on film, I do believe that they are pretty much elite, especially when it comes to college athletes at every single level. Quarterback, O-line, D-line, the weapons. The secondaries maybe underperformed a bit compared to what I thought they would be, but they still have great talent there. Very impressive Mike Norvell and his offense. So it's to me, FSU wants to be back. You can't be back until you break the wheel, until you break Clemson's stranglehold on the ACC, and this is the year to do it. There is no excuse. You are the better team. I don't care if the game's at Death Valley. You've already beaten a team from Death Valley, okay? So go in there, and if you win, no one can, because the Boston College game, Jake, caused a little bit of doubt to creep in. Everybody was set on FSU. Now it's okay, wait, maybe not so fast. Maybe we're crowning them kings a little too early. You go and you just take care of business against Clemson. In Clemson, there is no doubt left, and you should be. I don't know if you will be, but you should be the number 1 team in the country.
I agree. I mean, if you want to become the standard too, if you want to become the standard of the ACC, you have to beat Clemson. That is the team. Even though they haven't been in the playoff in a couple of years, still doesn't matter. It's still Clemson, right? They still won the ACC last year. They've won it every year, in the last decade, except one time when Pitt was able to win it. So, yeah, they're still the standard. So if you want to, try to get that from them, one win's not going to completely grab it, but it will do a lot of damage for Clemson and then positively for you if you're Florida State. So, yeah, that might be the game. Just the winner of that game might have the most to gain because, I mean, you make some great points and Dabo, you need this one, Bo.
Yeah.
You need this one. I know you're going to be hitting that full speed sprint down that hill, but you better hope that you got a smile on your face at the end too.
I guess I've already pronounced Dabo as being dead in my mind. So the torch already had been passed. So yeah, to your point, I mean, what's at stake for him is to maybe change all of that. Boys, y'all got answers here?
Yeah, I might go with your boys. I think Notre Dame has a lot to gain this weekend versus Ohio State in front of Touchdown Jesus. It's going to be lit over there. And it's not like they don't have hard games left. They still got to go at Duke and play USC. But if you can get this one, that's a big notch on their belt on the way to what they hope is a playoff berth.
So I agree that while I just talked about how Florida State, how much it means to them, at the end of the day, it's kind of symbolic, given that if they lose, they'll still have an ACC championship rematch, we would think. And still a one-loss team has a chance of going to the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, look, if Notre Dame wins this game, it'll be the first time beating Ohio State since 1936. It would be a massive signature win for Marcus Freeman in year number 2. They would have an argument to be the number 1 team in the country. They would certainly be top 5. Are they top 5 right now, or are they 6? What are they right now?
Who? Ohio State?
Notre Dame.
No, Notre Dame's farther down.
Says
Ohio
9.
State's actually 6.
Okay,
ESPN.
so you get rocketed forward to a top 5 team, and your playoff path, if you pass this test, is clear. I mean, you'll have Duke, which is going to be tough. You'll have Clemson, which is still a name, and you'll have USC, right? But if you already passed Ohio State and you can lose one of those, I mean, those Wallace Wade wackos are going to intimidate you. So if you can even maybe drop that one, and you would still make the playoff as a one-loss Notre Dame. So I like that answer a lot more.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot there for Freeman because they kind of hung with them last year, and now they had the quarterback that they think puts them over the top.
We'll dive more into that when we get in that game preview. Taylor, what's your answer to this question?
I asked Mario if I could go last because I was hoping someone would take one of my teams because I'm stuck in between 2. No one did, but
hey, I'll lay out the case for both.
I'll go Colorado first. I think Colorado has a lot to prove this week. This is a top 10 matchup. I mean, I know a lot of people are on the hype train for Deion, and that's great, but they didn't look good last week against Colorado State. I mean, they probably should have lost if you think about it. This is the game. I mean, this is the elite opponent that you're like, okay, they're doing great. They're trending in the right direction. They're 3-0. How good is this team, though? We still really don't know. Oregon, on the road at Oregon, I mean, I think that if Colorado could win this game, they could potentially jump inside the top 10. I think this is a big game for Colorado.
You're about to get on Taylor for moving the goalpost. I could see it on your face, but I agree with what he's saying.
I'm not. I'm giving Colorado credit. If they win this game, like they're top 10 team.
Exactly. The question is most to gain, and if they win, yes.
Yes, 100%.
I have a ton to gain.
It's not unfair, but there can be coexisting truths, and he's absolutely moving the goalpost.
On what?
On Deion. I mean, it's already a resounding success based on what they did last year and what was expected of them this year.
Okay. But what did I move the goalpost
on? Because you're like, we're going to find out, how good this team actually is. Are they good?
No, I think he's just saying we're going to find out if they're like legit
if they're
top 15.
Contenders. They are much improved from last year. They have not played a top 10 team yet. Yeah, I mean, this is their biggest
But here's the deal. Does anybody actually believe that they're contenders? Because I don't.
I don't either. But
I actually like we don't really know,
exactly.
Okay? Because the Colorado State game, that's a rivalry game. That's a game in which I think that's the first time they made it about something that was not the game. And I think they realized that. They have done so good at focusing on the game, and then it became about the hat and sunglasses comment. And I think that made the game, it made it not too much, but it made it less about the game and about the rivalry. And then you had, players about to fight before the game. And then you had players almost about to fight every single play in the game. And they got outside themselves a little bit because their sweet spot is when they're focused on their opponent and they're the ones that take all the newspaper clippings and kind of have that chip on their shoulder mentality. So the first 2 games, there's nothing to say they can't be a contender. Last game, I think they allowed themselves to do too much. And now let's see if they come back, they refocus. They don't have Travis Hunter, which is going to be obviously crucial, but I mean, they've got enough talent to be a contender. Now, what's contender mean? Does it mean, trying to challenge for the Pac-12? What is that?
I don't know that I think that they do have enough talent to be a legitimate contender. I think that a lot of the analytics point to their style of play right now being pretty unsustainable. Still very impressive in the wins that they've gotten. Look, Shedeur Sanders. I hate
analytics. So.
Shedeur Sanders. I mean, that's just crazy.
Why?
That's just crazy.
I guess my thing was
why?
like,
whoa. And hating analytics is not crazy if it's certain things like
it's just a
the
bucket
matchup
of
predictor, and that's great. But football's not just about a game of information. It's about a game. It's about feel within the moment. It's about making plays when the plays to be made. It's about a lot of different things. Numbers can be a part of it. But analytics are not going to tell the whole story of a football game.
But
it's like how many times is Matchup Predictor wrong on ESPN? All the time. That's analytics.
Claiming that anything is 100% the case. It's a way of framing context and trying to predict the future. The future is impossible to predict.
And that's why. And that's what I'm saying. It's impossible to predict. And so I'm not going to rely on analytics.
Okay, but then why does every professional franchise in every sport rely on?
I wouldn't say that every one of them does.
Like there's still there is
baseball is certainly a big analytics sport. I understand that, but I'm not going to live and
Football
die on
is
analytics.
as well. Look at the fourth down revolution that we've seen, where coaches go for it now, 2-point converge, like all this sort of stuff. Like,
you don't think Lane wishes he had some of those fourth downs back a couple of years ago against Bama?
Again, none of this to say is that it's 100% correct, but just to throw a blanket, toss the baby out with the bathwater.
Same thing to toss it with it's the say all be all.
No, well, I'm not saying it's say all be all. What I'm saying is the analytics don't reflect kindly on Colorado, and I don't think they're good enough in the trenches defensively when they run up against some of these elite teams. Now, Shedeur Sanders is the wild card because a great quarterback changes everything in college football. And nobody is playing better football than Shedeur Sanders right now.
I guess that's like my main thing. It's like, you're right. I don't think they're talented enough to be a contender. But if Deion could win this game, the conversation's going to be, he has a team that doesn't have a ton of talent. What can he do once he gets that talent? This team's going to be a lot more hyped. And then to Sanders, like, he was great as a whole. Their offense as a whole put up a lot of points, but Colorado State found a way to kind of throw him off his rhythm a little bit. I mean, he was marching right down the field on teams. He was great at the end of the game.
I agree with Jake, though. Even Shedeur kind of lost his
No, I agree, but it's like, this is also probably the best defense they're going to play. If Shedeur Sanders could have a big-time game, 400 yards, no turnovers against Oregon, people are going to start jumping back on that train. That's why I think it's a big game for Colorado.
I'm playing Colorado here. I bet on Colorado. I think the spread is too big. I think that you saw both teams take on Big 12 opponents in their house and both come away with, like, exciting close finishes, right? Like, why do you think, Jake, it is that we believe that Oregon is just so much better than Colorado off the bat?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question to ask to you because you mentioned the Texas Tech game. I mean, that was a 38-30 victory, but if you watch that game, it was not that. It was a play at the very end of the game. I think it ended up being a pick six. I mean, it was 31-30. Texas Tech has the ball driving.
Yeah.
And Texas Tech actually controlled the narrative of that game for 3.5 quarters. They allowed Oregon to come back, and good teams find a way to win. But to T's point, on the road against TCU, a team that if they play Texas Tech, I don't know who the favorite would be. And Colorado took care of TCU. And so, yeah, we can – I mean, even Nebraska. Like, if Nebraska played Texas Tech, well, what would that line be? Well, Colorado housed Nebraska, 36-14. So the number is surprising. Now, Oregon being the favorite, not surprising at all. No. But the number being where it's at, and as we sit here, it's still at 21, so it hasn't had a lot of movement. If I was setting the number 13.5, maybe feels – more.
I mean, that's what I would think. Even though now that we're talking this out loud, I mean, there is a stark difference in Bo Nix compared to Jeff Sims, who was awful in that game. I'm blanking on Colorado State's quarterback's name.
It was
and then was it Howard?
Nicolosi.
Was it Howard for TCU week 1?
Chandler Morris.
Chandler Morris, that's right.
Will Howard.
We talked about it. Yeah, Chandler Morris. That's what's his name?
Chad Morris.
Which I have no idea.
But the point is, like, yes, Bo Nix is a completely different monster than those three quarterbacks. So Colorado has not seen anything like Bo Nix.
No, and that's why I think it's a big game for him. The next team I wanted to point out, like, if Lane could beat Nick Saban in Alabama, like, I think the narrative around him changes.
True.
Like, a lot of times now everybody's like, oh, Lane's always going to have a really good offense. He's always going to do this. Can he have the defense? Can he win the big game? As of now, he hasn't been able to, but I mean, this is the most vulnerable Saban's ever been. Yeah, this is the most vulnerable Saban's ever been. This is probably his best shot. So I think it's a big game for Lane, but I mean, also Ole Miss. So those were kind of the two that I was looking at.
I didn't know this stat, T. We had Mincy on pre-gaming the SEC yesterday, and huge Ole Miss fan, obviously. Ole Miss has only won in T-Town twice. Ever.
Jeez. 2015 off that.
Well, those teams have been in the SEC for a long time.
That's true. That's true.
Now, I don't know if they've always played in Tuscaloosa. I don't know the series history. Twice?
That's true.
That's
wild.
Is crazy. That's wild.
Man. So, again, if not now, then when? Alabama has not looked good. Not just to their standard. They haven't looked good. They've got the quarterback carousel. I think Jalen Milroe's to play, so they're going back to him. That's a plus for Alabama. But if you're Lane Kiffin, you saw South Florida's defensive front get after the Alabama offensive line?
Yeah, that was crazy. They gave up 5 sacks. Let's dive deep on Ole Miss, Alabama next. I got to entertain some absurdity from our boy Matt Flynn here. It says, T-Bob in Florida State, they barely beat Boston College, but they should be number 1 if they beat Clemson. T-Bob in Colorado, they barely beat Colorado State, but I still need to see more if they beat Oregon. No, first off, we said if they beat Oregon, they're a top 10 team. Second off, Florida State would have a great win over LSU, who I expect to be in the top 10 potentially after they house Arkansas this weekend. And they would have in this situation, a really nice win over a Clemson team that was ranked. Like, nobody would have 2 better wins. That's my point, Matthew. You're going to tell me that even if Colorado beats Oregon, they'll be a top 10 team as they should be.
Matt, call into the show, Matt.
But you're going to tell me that Colorado's resume at that point would be better than that of Florida State? Or who would have a better resume? The only team would be, the biggest wins in all of college football right now are Florida State over Alabama, over LSU, and Texas over Alabama, right?
Yes.
Right? I don't think there's a big one out there. Florida State would have two.
You know what the biggest win in the SEC is this year?
LSU over Mississippi State?
Missouri over Kansas State.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. The only out-of-conference game.
Mizzou's got a little bit of juice, man. Number 3 is a monster.
MIZZOU. Let's go to break. More to be next.
We'll see
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
that's what I was
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
MIZ, K2Z. K to Z. Some there. We can work it.
K2Z.
Yep. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
When you work with K to Z, window coverings, KTOZ blinds.com is the website, KTOZblinds.com, where you can take advantage of Brandon Barton's 25 years in the window treatments industry. So whether you need shades, shutters, custom window job, like whatever it is, you want to go to K2Zblinds.com. Get that outdoor kitchen of your dream. What if you had like a 007 house? You just press a button and those shades roll down from the ceiling all sleek and cool like. Impress all your friends with K to Z. Free installation, remember? Free estimate in your home, and financing options always available.
Yeah, and that estimate takes about 4 minutes. They're going to come in, they're going to measure, going to tell you exactly what they can do for your space. Go to that website, KTZblinds.com. Go to exteriors, go down to screen shade systems. I promise you, your outdoor space will be unbelievable. Check it out, KTZblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong.
Sandgriff, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza in downtown Baton Rouge. Matt Humans is with us, Dwayne Colucci, and we look ahead to the weekend in college and pro football. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Somebody's going to see bye to their playoff hopes this weekend. Not really, but kind of. I mean, if Notre Dame, if Ohio State loses, they're in trouble. So I don't think they're as good as Michigan this year. We'll learn Saturday how good we think Penn State is. I'm a bit guilty of treating Iowa like an NPC in this game, though. Where, like, I'm not looking at anything through the Iowa lens. Their defense just merely represents, like, the video game boss that Drew Aller and the Penn State offense needs to prove effective against for me to start believing in them. I would love nothing more than for Kirk and the boys to go in there and get an upset in Happy Valley during the whiteout. That'd be pretty awesome. That'd be fun.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Look, as much as I hate on Iowa, it still brings a tear to a glass eye to watch how they play football still.
I will say, Jake, have you seen the total in that game? 40.
I was going to say 39.
40. I mean, let's go. I smashed that under. Iowa in the 40. We bet Iowa unders in the low 30s.
It got last year. It was
Didn't
like
it get in the high 20s at one point?
26 we bet it.
Yes.
And it hit.
Yes.
26.
You're going to give me
for
40?
both teams.
Might as well print money out of an ATM and jam it in my pocket. Thank you. Here's a startling truth. Alabama right now has 1/8 of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. 1/8 of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL all come from Alabama. And yet right now, this comes from Graham Coffey. Here's some Alabama SEC ranks. Yards per game, they're 12th. This is the SEC again. Pass yards per game, 13th. Yards per pass, 13th. Yards per play, 13th. Offensive success rate, 12th. Negative play percentage, 13th. Sack percentage, dead last. What a fall from grace. And now you have a Lane Kiffin that is as confident, Jake, as I've ever seen him. It's not just the comments of who's actually going to be calling the defensive plays and the mind games that they're playing with Alabama, though we will get to that audio in a second. But did you see yesterday's tweet when Juice Kiffin tweeted, wait, Alabama has 18 former 5-stars and Ole Miss has 1? How is my dad supposed to beat Grandpa?
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin quoted it, said, if you're scared, stay home. If you're scared, son, stay home. This isn't a puppy dog sort of environment at Brian Tinney. John Gordon, who Lane loves, he's an inspirational speaker, tweeted, take a moment to pause today and think about what you're grateful for. When you focus on your blessings, you'll do less stressings. What are you grateful for? Lane Kiffin, which again, this is an odd mixture of sincerity and trolling here. Says, for Coach Saban taking a chance on me when I was knocked down and out. Hashtag forever grateful. Love Alabama football. Transfer portal tweets a picture. Says, imagine having a job with this much pressure. It is Nick Saban standing on a water cooler, Jake, and there is a staffer behind Nick Saban whose sole job is to hold the water cooler so that Saban doesn't fall off it. Lane quote tweets it, names the guy Ellis with a facepalm emoji. So he's out here messing with Alabama, and it all got started on Sunday when he accused Alabama of having Travaris Robertson, not Kevin Steele, actually calling the defensive plays. Nick Saban said that's not true. It's Kevin Steele, and here's what Lane Kiffin had to say.
Lane, what did you see on film that led you to make the comment last night about Coach Robinson coaching their defense?
That was, again, I was asked the question what it was like going against Steele's defense, so I wasn't really trying to start this big thing. We saw things on TV copy just where it was different, of first off of what the play looked like, the calls and stuff, and then so we looked into that further, and then, it ain't no secret. We kind of, people in these buildings know each other, so obviously got some information that way too. So, it just is what it is, kind of like the quarterbacks. You got to prepare for a different quarterback, prepare for a different play caller. So we got a game film of that. I'm not sure whatever transpired after Texas, but we're going to have our hands full no matter what.
Lane.
Yeah.
Hey!
We talked about that part a lot yesterday where he's like, people in these buildings, well, they know each other. Oh, we got snitches.
So that is what's fascinating is Lane is, and a lot of people talk about this, it's not my take, but Lane is, there's an idea out there where this is Lane and Pete Golding's way of trying to make Nick Saban think he has a mole, right? Like in a week in which they should be solely focused on the game, is Nick Saban worried about a rat amongst the rafts?
You dirty rat.
Exactly. See him around there sniffing out, calling people into his office. Who talked? Who talked? It's and again, I can't because all this does is poke the bear. I'm not bear, Saban, but you get what I'm saying. Like I do wonder. To me, the only angle I can figure out okay, maybe messing with him a little bit in the mole regard, but like the only reason I can think that Lane would do this, Jake, is just because he's feeling uber confident. I think he's feeling really good. All the tweets, everything else.
Yeah.
I think he's feeling really good.
Last time, though, he felt this confident, we were talking about it during the break, was get your popcorn ready. Well, Alabama got the popcorn ready, and you did not.
True.
That was when he went for it on 4th and 8 on his own 30, in the first quarter. And then when I remember, that was when LSU already announced that they were firing Orgeron, and everybody's like, oh, Kiffin would be, and then everybody was out on him after that game. I remember they were like, he went for it on 4th and 8 in the first quarter of his own 30. Like, no, I'm out on him.
But that was also a vastly different Alabama team than what we're going to see this week.
Vastly.
Although the only thing that I would say is the South Florida game went a long way towards ruining a lot of Alabama's stats, Jake. And while there's certainly concerns offensive line and everything else, I think Jalen Milroe is head and shoulders better for this team than those other two guys. Do you agree or disagree?
I wholeheartedly agree right now. Ty Simpson and maybe eventually Tyler Butner ain't it.
No, Tyler Butner's definitely
That's not it. There's a reason why they went and got him when they got him. He was not going to be the starter at Notre Dame. The current offense coordinator at Alabama recruited Sam Hartman to Notre Dame, so Tyler Butner didn't play. Yeah, it ain't it. Jalen Milroe right now does give you the best opportunity. He has a skill set that is going to play. Now, Tommy Rees, you've got to call the plays that fit his skill set. That's on you. And your offensive line struggling right now. You have to realize that as well. So some of those pass plays, those long developing routes aren't going to work right now until your offensive line gets better. So, it's got to be a whole group effort to get better for Alabama. And then maybe Ty Simpson down the road. There's some things in the South Florida game that, okay, I see it. I see some of the stuff, but he's not ready yet. So
I don't think that's
the guy.
Team's belief either at all.
No.
I kind of agree with these reports. I'm not saying that I want to make too much of them, but it's a bad feeling when the locker room doesn't believe in the guy that the coach is pushing, right? And everything they've done in the quarterback position reeks of desperation. So what about it, though? Because Because, again, why worry about Ole Miss? They go on the road in Tulane. They let a backup quarterback, really have a lot of success against them early on. Now, they did a good job of adjusting.
Ole Miss got big boyed up front against Tulane.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's make no mistake about it.
So it is a little bit of week on week here.
Tulane's not South Florida, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like the belief and confidence that a lot of people have in Ole Miss, I don't think it's necessarily that Ole Miss, they think they're that good. They just think Alabama right now has those kind of struggles. So, there's still things Ole Miss has got to improve on for sure. And when you look at Tulane's defensive front going against that Ole Miss offensive line, they were living in the backfield, right? So can Alabama do that? Can they create that? And, going back, talking with Mincy yesterday, he made a great point about they're running Jackson Dart way more too because they now have Spencer Sanders, Walker Howard behind him. So, look, you're not trying to get your quarterback hurt, but you can run with more confidence knowing that you've got a backup quarterback that if he came in, Spencer Sanders has started, 40-something games in his career, so he would be able to handle that. And you're seeing a different version of this Ole Miss offense since really – end of Tulane game, they started to do a little bit of it because they couldn't protect Jackson Dart just back there as a normal passer. And so that's kind of been their change up to not being able to protect him, is running more and then keep the defense kind of on their heels.
And Dart's been fantastic. He's like the sixth highest rated quarterback in the country.
Last week against Georgia Tech? I think he ran for 150.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know all that. To be fair, I haven't watched Ole Miss Georgia Tech yet.
Why would you?
Fair question. Haynes King? No. All right, so final call. I actually took Ole Miss for the points. I thought about money line. Can't quite go there fully, but I did take Ole Miss for the 7.
Yeah, I'll go Ole Miss with the 7.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Ole Miss to cover for sure.
There we go, boys. I don't like a consensus.
Yeah, I don't like this graphic.
We saw Alabama last week, man. Like Bilbo's saying in a wake-up call, it should have been he's saying in the chat, excuse me, it should have been a wake-up call against USF. They were awful. They almost lost the game.
Well, I think it is a wake-up. That's what we're going to find out, if it is a wake-up call or not. Was it a wake-up call? We can't say now whether or not we know.
Texas should have been. I just don't think they're a good team.
Well, Texas is good, though. I think. We'll see. All right, more to
the teams they've played, Rice and Wyoming, I think are better than we're giving them credit for, too.
We have, how about this? Rice versus South Florida this weekend. Huh? How about that?
How funny was the JT?
How does that inform Texas and Alabama opinion?
The JT Daniels meme I sent, only one man can save Alabama.
Yeah, true. They need him.
JT, he's got 3 years of college eligibility left.
I did see some player out there is currently lobbying for a 9th year.
Miami tight end.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to.
Bruh, go graduate.
Somebody's got a receiver. Somebody's got a receiver that's at his 8th year of college football
You're
right
out
now.
here trying to Van Wilder.
All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com is the website where you can go check out incredible deals. You can explore the new collection of vehicles that they have there on site, the Toyota certified used vehicles as well. You can check out the monthly deals they always got going down. Remember, you're a recent graduate or a military member, there are always deals for you at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. They're right there off of Airline Highway. Go in, man. Go see them. Let them start to kind of guide you towards the vehicle that you and your family needs. And obviously, when you buy Toyota, you know you're buying quality. All-Star Toyota at BatonRouge.com.
Go to the website today. You can check out everything they have to offer when you're buying new. Now, obviously, everything's going to be available when you're buying new, but also when you're leasing and when you're renting. Everything is going to be available. So full fleet, no matter what you need. If you need the minivan, midsize, full-size SUV, sedan, hybrid, whatever it is, they've got you covered. Multiple trucks as well over there at All-Star Toyota, Tacoma, Tundra.
I think it's just
that little Wayne on there. Go to allstartoyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. Luke Johnson on the Saints. We'll get ready for LSU and Arkansas inside Tiger Stadium. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It was Labor Day weekend, I was 17. I bought a Coke and some gasoline, and I drove out to the county fair.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Let's talk a little Ohio State, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's not beaten Ohio State since 1936. Here's what I find to be fascinating, boys. What? What are you giggling about there?
Nothing. I just Notre Dame hasn't been good in so long. And the media just wants them to be good so bad.
I don't know.
That's not true. They were really good 2 years ago.
I feel like there's a mixture of it. I feel like they do get the benefit of the doubt if they're good, but they have to also prove it maybe more than some teams.
I mean, I just think that I just disagree with Taylor's assertion. I know they definitely had some lean years, but they were very consistently good under Brian Kelly.
Were they legitimate
I don't
contenders?
think they haven't lost to Ohio State a ton. They just don't play them a lot.
I'm gonna look at it.
Go to Winsipedia.
I know.
The GOAT. Anytime you need to look up how two teams match up, Winsipedia. How about this though? It's an interesting setup, and this is sans film or anything else. This is just see if this does for you. This game was 21-10 last year, right? Last year, Ohio State had C.J. Stroud, one of the best quarterbacks in the entire nation. A guy to go on to throw over 3,600 yards, 41 touchdowns, 6 picks. Notre Dame had Tyler Buckner and Drew Pine, who did nothing last year. And then actually last week, we all saw what Tyler Buckner did for Alabama. You probably missed Drew Pine. Did you hear what Drew Pine did last week?
At Arizona State.
He went in for 23 plays and turned the ball over 4 times.
Not great.
In 23 plays. Now, a year later, Notre Dame has the quarterback who is currently leading the nation in touchdowns, and Ohio State has Kyle McCord, a quarterback who finally got named the official full-time starter going into week 3. And again, last year this game was in the shoe, and yet it finished 21-10. So you're telling me this year Notre Dame has the vastly better quarterback, It's in South Bend. I mean, is this reductive? Yes, but I don't know, man. That makes me feel pretty damn good about the Irish. I'm rolling with the Irish on Saturday.
Series history: in 1935 in Columbus, Ohio, Notre Dame won 18-13. In 1936 in South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame won 7-2.
Yeah. Oh, 7-2.
7-2.
Shootout there.
They didn't meet again until 1995. Ohio State won in Columbus 45-26. They met again the next year in 96 in South Bend. Ohio State won 29-16. In 06 in the Fiesta Bowl, Ohio State 34, Notre Dame 20.
Playoff game?
10 years later, that would have been BCS.
Those are 6. 2016
in the Fiesta Bowl, 44-28 Ohio State. And then in 2022, as T-Bob mentioned, 21-10. And why in the world in 2016 was the Fiesta Bowl called the Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl? What the hell is Battle Frog?
What is Battle Frog? Is it a gaming company of some
Senior
sort?
Frogs? Club?
I don't know. What is Senior Frogs?
I don't know. You don't know what Senior Frogs is?
No.
It's a club in Cancun. It's like a chain.
It's also a good restaurant. I've been to it. They have one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
The Battle Frog race series was known for its difficult obstacles and requiring, it looks like some kind of race.
Yeah, it
a
looks
marathon.
like kind of like a Tough Mudder type situation.
Is it a furry thing? Battle frog? You dress up as a battle frog?
Like
And
obstacle
then hop
course
on
races is
whatever
what
you
I'm
want.
seeing from a quick Battle Frog Google search.
Very weird.
They got the sponsorship dollars, though.
Yeah, for a little bit. It's no longer, but.
I would say this. Biggest problem for Notre Dame are their receivers versus Ohio State secondary. Vice versa, trying to contain Ohio State's receivers. And I would say the biggest problem for Ohio State is I'm not sold in their offensive line. And can their defense overcome how good Sam Hartman's been? I feel bad for Hartman in this, though, Jake, because I think his receivers are going to struggle to get open, but we're only going to judge him on whether or not he puts up good stats. So let's see if Hartman can overcome.
Ohio State, for the first time this year, showed something last week. Western Kentucky is really not that bad. Actually, Western Kentucky, going back to South Florida, they beat up on South Florida already this year, and then Ohio State returned the favor to them. And it was really the first time that we've seen them be explosive with all the weapons that they have.
Going, but they did. They did.
So Cal McCord, I always thought he was going to be the quarterback. I guess once he got named quarterback, maybe they gave him some extra juice. He threw for 318 and 3 touchdowns. They won 63-10. So my opinion of Ohio State changed a little bit, even though it was just Western Kentucky, because you waited to see that explosion. And Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 for 126, 75-yard touchdown. Okay, there he is. And can he be, we know Marvin Harrison Jr. can be that guy. Can Cal McCord be that guy in this game? He's the key to the game for me.
McCord?
Yeah. Because I actually think Sam Hartman's going to go out there and make plays.
Okay.
I think Ohio State's going to have to score to win this game. 28-24 at minimum is kind of what I'm thinking.
Wow. We'll see. I can't wait. Biggest match of the weekend. Top 10. Our first top. No, that's not true. LSU, Florida State. I was going to say first top 10 match of the season, but LSU, Florida State would be that. Here's hoping this one ends a bit more excitingly than that one did. When we get back, more college football talk here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
don't you? Fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This Sunday as we bring you 3 NFL games, starting with our noon kickoff, the New England Patriots against the New York Jets. Immediately following that game, it's the Chicago Bears against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then our nightcap, the Steelers and the Raiders. Tune in here on 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
There we go. Now we got some good music going, man. I guess we should do radio. I just kind of want to listen to the song.
This is radio.
True. Music radio. Just be like Condon. Yell something vaguely offensive, go to song, come back, rinse and repeat.
Today.
How about
Love you, Dick.
How about this on Get Up? They're picking the Saints-Packers game. Harry Douglas, Packers. Dan Orlovsky, Packers. Greeny, Packers. Kimberly, Saints.
That's right, Kim. Love Kimberly Martin. Always said it.
That's surprising.
I actually do.
He does. I can confirm.
Oh, big man, tiny helmets. It's my favorite segment.
They still do that?
Oh, yeah. How do they get Damien Woody in a suit today? That's what I don't understand.
Maybe because this is his segment.
Oh, because it's big man, tiny helmets.
Yeah.
The only time Damien Woody's putting on a blazer is when he gets his own segment. That's fair.
Old Harry Douglas, a good dude, man.
Guys,
happy for his success.
Sam Pittman deleted his Twitter. Like, gone. Just completely gone. Just look it up. Gone. I don't understand that. Is this a like, what does this mean? Because I think it's weird. I don't think it means nothing.
No, it's weird, but I mean, I think like if a Lane Kiffin or somebody who used their Twitter like a ton deleted it, it'd be a bigger deal. But
I mean, but can you be an SEC coach and not have a Twitter that somebody does for you just from a professional standpoint?
No, but
like, is he that upset by the trolls getting mad at him? Hey, don't blow a 31-21 lead to a bunch of Mormons.
Like if you asked me like, hey, pick one coach in the SEC that doesn't have a Twitter, like it would probably be Sam Pittman.
Okay, that's yeah. That I would say. Let me do the math. Yeah, that checks out.
Somebody sent me this last night. I think it's somebody who covers Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he looked and Sam Pittman's Twitter was gone, and then he looked at Coach Dan Enos, the offensive coordinator, and Enos had blocked the guy. So, in their feels a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. There's little rabbit ears.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
No, not when you're blocking people on Twitter.
That's a sign that the ship is sinking. I swear to God, if you let them win the Golden Boot, LSU, I'll hate you forever.
They won't.
Yes, I will. I'm going to quit the show. My ultimate radio bet. I will quit the show if LSU
the
loses.
contract has like 21 more months on it, I think.
Sure. True. But I'm going to cite.
You're going to take vacation days and be real mad.
I'm going to, No, I'm going to say that I'm going to allege that Matt sexually harasses me. And then I'm going to get out of here.
I saw it.
Yeah, you said exactly. See,
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bug.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Cold in Baton Rouge. What you put me on through, gotta send my love down the
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
Post to my wife, I've got some advice for you guys going through the same thing. Just relax and go to Lee Michael. Why? Man, where do I even start? First of all, it doesn't matter what size diamond you're looking for or how much money you have to spend. Lee Michaels will make you feel comfortable with your purchase. They've been in the community for 40 years and now have 2 locations in Baton Rouge, on corporate at Bocage and in the Mall of Louisiana, Lafayette, Shreveport, and also New Orleans. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, September 21st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 94. Coming up on OTBOT, we have a new edition of Big Deal or No Big Deal, and Chef Michael Johnson joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Munchies. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz at Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back to OTB. Nola June says, I'm pulling for Ole Miss hardcore. I'd love for Bama to have 2 losses before September is over, but also that LSU-Ole Miss game would be so hyped next week. I agree. That's another reason I'd love for Ole Miss to win this game, is to get that LSU-Ole Miss game as hype as possible. Also, if you enjoy Alabama tears, what if they lose 2 in a row at home to former assistants? After not doing it ever.
Wouldn't be super shocking. The last 2 weeks have been shocking for me when it comes to Alabama.
No, it wouldn't be shocking given the context of this year, but it would hurt. It would hurt them badly. All right, hour 3 here. We're going to do a little big deal, no big deal, and then we'll get to Chef Michael Johnson on the other side. Let's dive in. Big deal or no big deal?
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
Kyle Whittingham is being a little non-committal when it comes to Cam Rising. Jake, saying he practiced today, did a great job, but we'll know nothing for 48 hours at a minimum. Then, of course, we won't make an announcement. They'll just find out on game day who the guy is. It's the best I can tell you right now. Big deal or no big deal? Cam Rising's fate still hanging in the air, going into a ranked UCLA 22 against number 11 Utah matchup.
I think it's a big deal because I would have guessed he was playing against Florida.
I know.
Like, he's QB1 on the all-meathead team. I was like, there's no way in the world they're going to keep him out of that game. In fact, I was like, they're going to chain him to the bench not to go out there. He wasn't even dressed. He hasn't been dressed. And he's coming back from an ACL, and it happened at the bowl game. So, what are we, 9 months out? And again, it's about an 8-month
I don't know, man.
But still, I just thought because of his mentality, like right, wrong, or indifferent, maybe not even the smartest play. I was like, oh, Cam Rising, you saw that guy, the way he plays football, he'll be out there. So if he doesn't play, yeah, it's a big deal.
I think if he doesn't play, Utah loses because they just have too many injuries. I think if he does play, they win.
I almost agree with that. I'm right there. UCLA is way better than anybody's giving them credit for. They are still a team that wants to run the football. They've got an efficient 5-star freshman quarterback. Carson Steele is a name to watch out for coming over from Ball State, top 5 rusher in the country a year ago, and he's at like 8.1 yards per carry this year.
Yeah, the UCLA rushing attack's out of control. As a team, they're averaging like over 7 or 8 yards a carry. And Dante Moore's been awesome, but, going into Utah, going to be vastly different than what he's faced thus far. Here's the deal with Cam Rising, Jake, though. The warm-up season is done. 4 of the next 5 games, ranked matchups for Utah. You got 22 UCLA, then you're at number 14 Oregon State, then you get Cal, then you're at number 5 USC, then you have Oregon at home, number 10. I mean, so Cam, if you're going to go, we got to get this thing going now. I think he plays for whatever it's worth.
Now, remember, Utah, kind of a slow-starting team. They always thrive in the middle portion into their schedule. That's how they've been able to win the Pac-12 over the last 2 years.
True.
Will that trend continue? Might not if you don't get your quarterback back, so I do think that's a big deal, T-Bob.
Yeah, huge deal. I agree with you guys. Also, I feel like Adrian Peterson ruined it for everybody when he recovered from his ACL so quickly, like almost 10 years ago now.
I mean, what's crazy?
He's not human, though, so
yeah.
He is not human.
A quarterback should be able to come back in 9 months.
Especially
and maybe they're trying to be
meathead
as safe as possible, but, he should be available. Big deal. Who wants to go next? Jake?
We're not getting Taylor's thoughts on Cam Rising?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
No, I think it is a big deal because, what did we talk about week 1? It was the Thursday night matchup between Utah and Florida.
Yeah.
He was questionable for that game, and a lot of people thought he was actually going to play.
I did.
Here we are going into week 4.
I know.
He's still questionable. So how many more weeks of this
I will
does
say,
this happen?
Whittingham reportedly made that comment without being asked about Rising, and beat writers are saying he was a bit more jovial than normal.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they've been able to weather the storm, missing that many starters against a team in Florida, maybe they're not as bad as we thought.
Yeah.
All right, they just went out there and beat up on Tennessee.
Sure.
It's impressive what they've been able to do through 3 weeks. All right, big deal or no big deal? Kareem Hunt returning to the Browns after Nick Chubb's terrible knee injury. Kareem Hunt, remember, visited the New Orleans Saints and a couple of other teams here in the offseason. Going back to his old team at the end of the day. Big deal or no big deal?
No big deal. It's the Browns.
Oh,
they suck.
It'll help them for sure, but I still ultimately say no big deal. Nick Chubb going down is just way too detrimental. I know Hunt's familiar with the offense. He's a solid player, but at the end of the day, I think the Chubb injury is just too much to overcome.
All right, no big deal for the Browns as a whole because, like T-Bob said, they're the Browns. This is a big deal for Deshaun Watson, though. Nick Chubb was kind of his check down option.
True.
The first 2 weeks of the season, they got him a lot more involved in the passing game. Jerome Ford's probably still going to be the lead back, but how good is he out of the backfield? You bring in a guy who's an elite running back in terms of receiving out of the backfield and is familiar with that organization. That's going to help Deshaun Watson a lot. So not a big deal for the Browns, but a big deal for Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson kind of sucks.
Yes, he does.
Mario?
Okay, so this is more, I just kind of want to shout out a friend, but I guess we could do big deal, no big deal. But Andrew Lopez, our friend.
Yeah, I saw this.
ESPN, he's moving to San Antonio. He wants breakfast taco recommendations on Twitter, by the way.
Wait, why? He's covering the Spurs?
He is going to cover Victor Wembanyama, essentially. ESPN wants to put somebody on the Spurs to cover him, like they did with the Pelicans when they got Zion.
So the Pels are not going to have a beat writer?
He's still going to cover the Pelicans.
Yes, but from afar. That's what his tweet says. I put it in the document. But he is moving to San Antonio.
Really covering. I mean,
yeah.
he'll do good work, but that means the Pelicans don't have a beat writer.
Yeah, and that's kind of the big deal, no big deal portion. You know, I've really enjoyed his coverage. They have a lot of other really, really good writers and people that cover the team, but I will miss Lopez for sure.
I mean, no big deal because the Pelicans remain a bit niche anyway, I suppose. But yeah, for me, I will definitely miss Andrew reporting on him. Pretty crazy that Victor Wembanyama, though, demands a beat writer unto himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Right, USA Today putting it out there. Who wanted to cover just Taylor Swift for USA Today?
Has anybody gotten that job yet?
I thought you put in.
I haven't applied yet. I forgot. So I was wondering, like, if somebody's already got it, I'm not going to apply. But if it's still open, maybe I'll give my boy Travis Kelce a ring. Maybe he'll help me out a little bit.
It is a star-driven league and a star-driven society. Not super surprising.
True.
All right, I got one.
Yeah.
Justin Fields has not been good the first 2 weeks of the season, to put it mildly. And he had a press conference yesterday, and he pointed a lot of blame towards the coaching staff. Your starting quarterback blaming the coaching for his poor play. Big deal or no big deal?
So what's interesting to me about this is Fields was asked about why he was playing bad, and he gave a 2-minute, 30-second answer where he said coaching, and then elaborated by talking about how he thinks he's being fed too much data, being kind of forced to stay in the pocket. It's taking him out of his game. That, like, yeah, he understands studying during the week, but he wants to get back to being himself, being instinctual when it comes to game day. So everybody was like, wow, Justin Fields was asked what's wrong, and he said coaching. And then he immediately calls the media back in and starts berating them for misrepresenting his answer and saying, it's on me, blah, blah, whatever. It was just everything at Hallis Hall yesterday was an absolute joke. But I understand if you're upset because they're taking one word out of a 2-minute, 30-second answer, like maybe from just a principled standpoint. But when you hear the full answer, Justin Fields is blaming the coaches, like 100%. Like, it's actually 2 minutes and 30 seconds of him explaining why he's blaming the coaches and what's going wrong. So, I mean, it feels like a massive deal because it feels like Chicago and Justin Fields are done.
Well, not only that, like, I was thinking about it, like, look at Chicago in the last 6 months, the Bears organization. They get the number 1 pick. They, in my opinion, incorrectly trade away that number 1 pick. Then they start 0-2. Your quarterback that you clearly believed in because you traded away that number 1 pick has looked terrible.
Yeah.
Your defensive coordinator stepped down. He says it's for family reasons, but then there's
wait
like
and
a
see on
rumor
that.
that it may actually not be family reasons.
Yeah.
Your quarterback's calling out the coaching staff. DJ Moore's unhappy that he's not getting the ball. Like, has there ever been more turmoil against one organization in like a 6-month period?
Yeah, man, I'm not there. Like, I don't know exactly what's going on, but it gives off vibes of like a really toxic organization, like the Raiders or the Jets or someone like that.
Yeah.
I mean, think of some of the stats. Like, the Jets have never had a 4,000 yard, or the Bears, have never had a 4,000 yard passer. Taylor, I believe, sent the stat the other day that Justin Jefferson already has more receiving yards than any player in Chicago Bears history.
True.
So it's appropriate that they're having offensive issues and having issues overall.
Jake, what do you think?
I think it's a big deal. You can't have your quarterback bad body language. And look, they know something about that. Jay Cutler was their quarterback for a long time. But you can't be bad body language, blaming the coaches. And even if that is like real, like even if factually he believes those things, that's closed door
Keep
stuff.
it in-house.
Yeah, there's going to be some veteran players on this team. I don't know the roster. I don't know who's like the most veteran guy, but they're going to have a conversation with him like, hey, bud, that ain't how we do it. I don't care that you're the quarterback. Like, we can't do things like that. It might be dysfunctional, but we need you. You got a C on your jersey to be a leader out there because now we're talking about this all week, and we're not talking about getting ready for who might be the best team still in the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, and it rang hollow when he called everybody back out there and was like, it's me. It's me. Well, you can't do that after the fact. You gotta do that at the beginning.
Zach Wilson had the same thing last year where he's blaming everybody else. Like, hey, you're the quarterback. Right?
Also,
a lot comes with that.
I'm going to say that it's a bit of a red flag when my quarterback's saying I want to do less thinking. I get what Justin Fields is getting at because he is hyper athletic. He wants to be more dynamic, more instinctual. The problem is dynamism and instincts go way down in terms of effectiveness when you're talking about the NFL.
Well, T-Bob, but it's like that's in every aspect of life. Like, if you were to text us tonight and be like, guys, I need all of y'all to get 3 or 4 things together for the show.
Yeah.
And I responded, I'm like, I'm not good at those things. Like, I don't really want to do that. Like, do we have to do that? And then not only that, his comment was also incorrect because he's like, if you guys would just let me do more running and do my thing. He did more running last year. He was still a bad passer, and they wound up with the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft because they weren't winning games. So you can't be a pocket passer, but you can't be a running quarterback either. So,
but the running is why people thought he might be good. Like, it's still, he may
but they
not
weren't
be,
winning games.
No,
with
I
it.
agree. I know what you're saying. But yeah, it would worry me if my quarterback is telling me I want less data and less thinking.
Yeah, 100%. And then he's like,
reading of the defense.
I want to go back to this style of play that didn't work last year.
Ooh.
Can't help but think of Geno Smith. Like, a lot of it is on fields, I'll admit that, but just a terrible situation to be in overall, like from the organization on down.
That's fair.
Maybe he'll be better at his next stop after all the bad stuff he's gone through.
That's fair. True. So, man, Bears just can't get it right, man. One of the most legendary franchises in the NFL. Can't figure it out.
Hate to see it. They were really mean to Saints fans.
Sounds like a little 2006.
They were really mean
sounds
to
like
Saints
some
fans.
17 years later anger.
Yeah, I'm always careful talking smack about NFL teams because maybe I'll do play-by-play for that team in the future. But, yeah, I enjoy watching the Bears suffer. I'm sorry.
Well, going back to 2006, Mario, the best quarterback the Bears have had in our lifetime is Rex Grossman.
Sexy Rexy.
In me and Mario's lifetime, the best Bears quarterback success-wise is Rex Grossman.
Yeah. He went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Kissing Susie Colbert.
I mean, Cutler put up numbers, but they never won anything with him.
You awesome, sexy Rexy. Yeah. Watch how far I'm about to throw this thing. Hell yeah.
What is Rex Grossman doing right now?
I'm sure he's associated with Florida somehow.
Probably just dropped the kid off at school, maybe golfing.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't think he's working. Maybe. Yeah, probably something in Florida, maybe. I could see him going back to Gainesville. We'll try to figure it out during break. What is Rex Grossman doing? When we get back, we also got Munchies. If you want to go ahead and get your Munchies questions in the chat, here on Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there in the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Getting your set for your football weekend. Ryan Clark, Fantasy Blitz, Mike Triplett. It's all Thursday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
What you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. What you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? What you gonna do? You wanna get down? What you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
7 y'all, welcome back to OTB. Guys, this is why Coach Prime is where he is. He's actually playing Oregon's fight song and crowd noise over the speakers during practice. It is that level of detail that, he's just ahead of the curve.
Man, playing the other
team's
fight song and loud noises when you're going on the road?
And crowd noise.
No way.
At practice, yeah. I'm telling you.
Didn't LSU do the whole cowbell thing last week?
Not that I can remember.
What are you talking about?
I never did.
Never played Sweet Home Alabama when we were going to Bryant-Denny.
Not once.
Not one time.
Let's go to the phone lines where we got our guy, Chef Michael Johnson, every single Thursday here at 9:15, the absolute best. Chef, what's up, man? What's going on this morning?
Morning. How are y'all?
We're doing well. Maybe not as well as Jordan Hall, who in the chat says, good morning from New Zealand. Hope y'all are having a nice one. That's awesome. Hey, Chef, do you know anything about New Zealand cuisine? Is there anything native New Zealand?
Lamb from New Zealand is particularly
Okay.
tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe that. There's no natural land predators on New Zealand. Because there's no natural
in
land
New Zealand?
predators. Yeah, New Zealand. There were only birds until we introduced deer and stag and stuff there and sheep. That's why they've thrived. No wolves.
Yeah.
No bears. What would be better?
Paradise for lambs.
What would a better animal to eat be? A bear or a wolf?
For us to eat?
Yes.
Ooh, gosh. I don't know, man. So the thing about eating a predator is you have to stay away from their offals.
Oh, the
their
offals.
intestines, because they're ingesting another creature, they get built up in their liver and kidneys and stuff that you don't want to ingest. So, I think probably a bear because it moves slower and it's going to be a little bit more tender. Maybe. Yeah. I feel like a wolf is going to be kind of tough.
A little stringy,
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Don't like that.
Hashtag Munchies, Ben Levy. My mother-in-law sent me some boudin from Bourgeois, of course. It's incredible, but every time I eat it, I think of her. Can I do anything? Anything I can do to get her out of my head so I can enjoy it in peace?
Man, that's a therapy, I think. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, that's probably right.
I mean, there's something to be said about that, though. Why get it out of your head? That's my question, because it's reminding you of somebody that you love, and food does that the way that scent or even a sound maybe does.
Yeah. I don't know if he loves his mother-in-law though.
I don't know.
Oh, mother-in-law.
Yeah. Not mother. No, not
I thought you said mother
that's
too.
That's why I was laughing. Mother-in-law. Excuse me if I read that wrong.
Chef, I don't think we've ever
stop eating boudin. Yeah.
Yeah, Chef, I don't think we've ever asked you about how you would prepare boudin. What would be your favorite way and how you would go about it?
I like it steamed first to kind of soften everything up. So, when you cook a sausage, you want to cook it with steam first so that the skin doesn't get dry and cracked out. And because when the skin dries and cracks out, all the fat leaches out, and then you have dry sausage, whether it's boudin or anything else. So I usually steam or simmer it first, and then let it steam dry so the skin is tacky, and then put it on the grill and roll it around if it's flat top or a charbroiler or whatever.
Okay, so steam it to like what? Like a little, like you said, a little tackiness, a little plumness, and then what? Just like a quick sear on the grill, just to give it some marks, or like what's the idea? Like how long on the grill?
Just long enough to get it like crisp and so
Okay.
when you bite into it, it pops. You want to cook with the moisture because it has a denser heat, so it's going to cook through the sausage easier than say just dry air. So it's not gonna burst. You're not gonna lose the fat. It's gonna come up to heat and get hot in the liquid, and then you pull it out and let it dry on the outside just long enough for the skin to dry, and then put it on the charbroiler so the skin, dries up. So what you're looking for with a sausage when you bite it is that snap and a pop. You know what I mean? Yeah.
God, that sounds amazing, Chef. I'm gonna try that. Mike Johnson sounds like something Bart Simpson would have called into the bar. True. Hashtag Munchies. What's the best Louisiana dish I can make to show them what home is like? I'm not sure who them is. Oh, from New Zealand. He's in New Zealand. Jordan is. What's the best Louisiana dish he should make to show them what it's like?
It's going to be completely dependent on what you have there. I'm assuming they probably have like chicken and sausage. So
yeah,
I'm going towards a jambalaya or a gumbo.
There you go.
I think those are like internationally understood that they're Louisiana dishes. So that's where my head goes. I want to say crawfish etouffee or something like that, but I don't know if they have crawfish over there.
I think they call them prawns, but no, I think those are shrimp. I don't actually know.
Right.
Hashtag Munchies. What's Chef's favorite steak for a steak sandwich?
I really like tri-tip, like smoked tri-tip off of a fresh off of a flame.
Chef, any swine on the menu? I've seen a couple of these questions in the chat. Any swine on the menu with the Razorbacks coming to town?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, we actually have a whole pig, 111-pound whole pig coming today that we're going to brine and prepare, and it's going to get smoked. I got a guy that's coming in at like 3 o'clock in the morning to start the process. So
are we going full? We're going full boucherie. I mean, we're going to have some hogshead cheese, everything else in this thing. What are we talking? A little blood sausage?
We're just cochon de lait. We're just going to cook it whole and then like a kind of Kahlua style, if you will, cochon de lait or whatever. You cook it all and then pull everything that's inside of it out and turn it into pulled pork.
Invite me over, Chef, whenever you
and baste it a lot. Yeah, you got to. I like to put a little mop on it, like vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and some spicy like not Tabasco, but something like that. Tabasco's too much vinegar for me. I like Louisiana or Crystal, but
I mean,
maybe a little.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, it's a little lemon juice and some honey too, maybe.
If you need any help, Chef, I'm a master baster. I've been working at it my entire life, so just let me know. Hashtag Munchies. Is it worth it to buy an automatic knife sharpener, or should one get skilled at using the traditional knife sharpener that comes with a knife block?
I think both, honestly. Like you need to have understanding of how to use the steel because it's not necessarily what you're doing with sharpening; it's honing it.
Yes.
I have a belt sander at my house that's called Tin Onion Ever Sharp or something like that, and it's really the best thing that's for a knife blade. It doesn't take too much metal off, and it keeps the blade convex so that it doesn't have too sharp of angles coming out, if you will. But also, every time you use the knife, they have what's called feathers that are. If you look at it from a microscopic point of view, there's these little feathers that come off the end of the knife that is actually the blade, and they get all bent out of shape. And so, what you're doing with the honing steel is putting them back in line.
So, what I understand, Chef, is that you are not supposed to sharpen your knife that often, but you're supposed to hone it every time. That's what you're saying.
That's right.
Okay. I got one of those little like handheld sharpeners where you just kind of drag it through like 4 to 5 times. It's made a big difference.
Yeah, I mean,
can't find that honer though.
If you're taking metal off your knife every time you use it, brother, you're not going to have a knife for very long. You know
Very
what I mean?
true. Very true.
Hashtag Munchies. Favorite wood for smoking pork?
Pork is always going to be a fruit wood, like cherry or apple or pear or something like that. And I like to mix it in with a denser hardwood like maple or pecan.
Okay.
Little mix, yeah.
I don't know that I feel like my palate is advanced enough to taste the different kinds of smokes, but I don't know.
You can, I mean, if you spend enough time around it, and you could, you can tell the difference in the smells, and so that smell is going to permeate through. And there's subtle differences to it for sure.
Hashtag Munchies, William Anthony. Uncrustables or regular PB&J?
Well, we go regular PB&J first, but if we don't have enough bread, then we're going to go with Uncrustables. I like Uncrustables because they're frozen.
Yes.
And just really, gosh, they're so convenient, man.
That's what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah. Chilled is good. Frozen's kind of weird at first, but then you'll find yourself craving frozen.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
Frozen peanut butter, it is weird at first, but once you get used to it, it's pretty darn good.
Hashtag Munchies. Any ideas on easy meal prep that's not boring?
Easy meal prep that's not boring. The meal prep that we do is kind of boring. It's all simple because there's nutrition in our food.
Right.
I don't know. For me, meal prep is boring.
I know it's kind of hard, isn't it? Because a lot of times it's like it's pretty. It's basic, healthy, like a chicken breast and a vegetable.
Yeah.
I just do. If you're like prepping for the week, I feel like it just never saves well. If you're on like day 3, you're like,
I like fresh food too.
Yeah, me too.
Fresh food has more nutrient value to it. Like there's a convenience to meal prepping, but you're missing out. The more you cook food, the more nutrient loss it has. And so there is going to be nutrient leach there that you're not getting everything out of it. I'm always going to go towards fresh cooked food.
I'd rather take time, go to the store that day to pick up dinner and then make it.
Hey, Chef, if I could ask you a similar question, since T-Bob skipped over my Munchies question.
Well, okay, chill out. It was actually literally the next one I was going to read, but go ahead.
Okay. What is a good and maybe like creative recipe for somebody who's on a budget?
I think, starch is always going to be in there. Like even a starchy vegetable, if you don't like starches that much, like rice or something of that, or corn or something of that nature. You need to make sure that you're putting lots of color in there, like peas and corn and carrots, and have a variety of colors because you get different nutrient out of each one of those colors. Fruits as well, don't be afraid to mix, like a mango or a pineapple into something warm and try that too. White meat as a whole, I got to tolerate kind of a fruity flavor with it and some spice. I don't like red meat in it at all. I think if it comes down to beef, you're ruining it by meal prepping it. So,
I think Mario, I've seen a lot of good Instagram posts lately of people making delicious looking ramen noodles without actually needing much, right? Like you just have the noodles and then maybe like an egg, some like fish sauce or something. I don't know exactly what but like there's a lot there.
Sounds good.
Chef, how would you make ramen noodles? If I handed you a packet of like college ramen noodles and I said, make this taste gourmet, what would be your game plan?
I'm going to dig everything out of the fridge, man.
Yeah.
Like green onions and cilantro and lemons, and it's going to have shrimp or chicken or something, with some spice in it. I don't think I've cooked ramen noodles like plain ramen noodles since I was in college. I pride myself on making some killer ramen.
Oof, I would love to try ramen.
Balling on a budget in college. That pack of 24 ramen noodles really hit.
Thing is, though, I'm so mad at myself. I guess I didn't even know about that at the time, but like I just never I never spiced it up. It was always just a straight ramen.
Got to.
That's what I'm saying. No, I unfortunately just ate a bunch of straight ramen, which is still tastes fine, but I feel like I missed out.
Like dried chilies around. That goes into it.
Ooh, that sounds good, bro. Maybe get some ramen today. It's almost cold enough to get ramen again. We're almost there, boys.
It's fine.
Hashtag Munchies. If I don't want to cook but wanted to mail order meals, who would your best recommendation to order from?
I've never actually done it. I couldn't really give you a good one.
Have you ever heard of using ACV in deviled eggs? And I apologize if I don't know. Brian, what is that? I don't know what ACV is, but have you ever heard of using that in deviled eggs?
I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
I'm striking out here. No, but it just by the sound of it, it doesn't sound like something that should be in there. If my grandma didn't put it in there, I don't think that I'm going to put it in.
Hey, this says take ramen noodles, just the noodles, and crumble them, then cook like risotto?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, what would that process be then? I have no idea.
Risotto, you put a little liquid in and you stir, and you put a little liquid in and you stir until it evaporates out. You put a little liquid in, you stir until it evaporates out. It produces like a creamy, rice dish.
Gotcha.
So I think it would happen a hell of a lot faster with ramen, but like you're gonna cook the starch out, and the starch is gonna make the dish creamy.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me. Chad is yelling at me right now. It's apple cider vinegar. Chef, would you use apple cider vinegar?
Well, okay.
Of course. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense in deviled eggs.
Absolutely. No? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love apple cider vinegar. I like the tart taste that it offers. I like the contrast that it brings. I use apple cider vinegar for all kinds of stuff.
Chef, thank you so much, man. You are the absolute best. We love so much getting to sit down with you every single Thursday. Thank you for making time with us. Tell the boys to enjoy the pig. Very jealous, and you have a great day.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
All right, man. Hey, real quick before we go to break, we've been talking a lot about our bets today. You want to know where I'm doing all those bets? I'm doing them on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKingsSportsbook.com works, or you download the app. If it's your first time, use the promo code Baton Rouge. When you do that, you bet $5 on any NFL game, you get $200 in bonus bets right away. Okay, how about that? That's incredible. You win automatically $200, which then you can go play and do other bets and try to win your way up the ladder. Like, remember what our girl Carly was saying. But if you're not a new customer, check it out. They still got great deals for you every NFL game day, of which today is one. Get on your DraftKings app and go look at not one, but two great offers for all customers to play tonight for that game. The DraftKings Sportsbook app. The crown is yours. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Bonus pack expires 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms of sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambler problem, call 100-GAMBLER, 100-426-2537. I'm feeling good about this board this weekend, boys. I'm going to make a lot of money on draft. Probably not. Probably go 500 like last week and lose a little bit, because that's just how it works. But maybe not. Yeah. You never know.
I got faith in you.
Him or this for a two-team moneyline parlay. Can't remember it. I'll have to get it on the other side. More OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT.
Get Gordon and get it done. Okay, 225-888-8888. Jake, if I were to get in an accident, who do you think I should immediately get in touch with?
Gordon McKernan?
I think that would probably be the play. And right now, have you all seen the Gordon 3D billboard where it's actually like him, like standing up on the 18-wheeler, and it's like a statue kind of, and extends past? Well, to honor football season, they have placed a giant purple and gold G-Team helmet on the 3D statue. So next time you drive by, now the giant, somewhat unnerving statuette of Gordon McKernan has a giant purple G-Team football helmet on it. Hell yeah. Get Gordon, get it done today. 225-888-8888.
Was that the billboard winner?
That was not the winner.
Oh, so even more to come.
Football.
GetGordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Sandgriff, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza in downtown Baton Rouge. Matt Humans is with us, Dwayne Colucci, and we look ahead to the weekend in college and pro football. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
T-Bob, if you were going to play the Penn State Iowa under, well, this is probably going to help your thought process, although it's bad news for Iowa. Tight end Luke Lachey, who's a really good player. He's already on this young season for Iowa now. You have to keep that in mind. Has 10 catches for 131 yards.
Let's go.
Going to be out for the year. Ankle surgery.
Damn.
Good for the under, bad for...
That's Luke.
Is he related to...
Nick?
Yeah, Nick. Is he related to Nick?
What about
Drew?
I don't know who Drew Lachey is.
Drew Lachey is the other part of 98 Degrees. That's Nick's brother.
Okay.
Damn. Poor Drew.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
Bad loss. They don't know who you are in Livingston Parish, apparently.
I don't know who Drew Lachey is.
I didn't know that Nick Lachey was...
either. Gwinnett County?
Yeah. It's close.
Alpharetta?
Yeah. There you
Yeah?
go.
I like, if you'd be better if you're from Duluth.
That's my wife's
So I could say Duluth.
What about Lance LaRue?
Who's that?
Or Lash LaRue? What was his name? Redhead wrestler guy?
Oh, I have no idea.
That's a Mario question.
Seamus?
Not Seamus. I thought he was like a vaguely Cajun guy or something.
Seamus Coleman for the Everton? No?
I don't think I know what I'm talking about. Auburn A&M, boys. We haven't talked about that. I love A&M here.
Do you?
I like Hugh Freeze and Auburn and everything. I just feel like A&M this year, their defense is bad. I'm unconvinced as to whether or not Auburn's offense can take advantage, but they, Wigman's playing well. They believe in Wigman. Regardless if he's great or not, Petrino's definitely a step up from Fisher. The offensive line played better. Evan Stewart's balling. I think A&M wins. I got A&M covering.
Auburn's leading rusher right now is Peyton Thorne, their quarterback.
Ooh, gross.
It's not been good.
Not even Robbie Ashford, Peyton Thorne.
But Peyton's got sneaky wheels. But yes, I agree with you.
Their leading receiver has like 140 yards maybe or something to that nature on the year. Defensively, Auburn's actually pretty stout. So that's going to be a matchup. You're talking about the offense for A&M. But I just don't know offensively if they can score enough points to win on the road in College Station.
Yeah, I kind of like Auburn. Like they'll probably finish below, towards the bottom of the standings, but they can upset a few teams here and there, and this might be one of those situations.
I'm picking Auburn in this game as well because I don't like Texas A&M.
Okay.
So I'm just picking Auburn.
Hey,
I always pick against Texas A&M, and a lot of times it works. So I'm just.
Your prerogative.
This is not a football reason whatsoever. I agree with everything you guys said. Still picking Auburn.
Where do you think Auburn would be right now if they'd hired Prime? In a weak-ass SEC, what if Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders and whatever else they ended up doing that roster were at Auburn?
Yeah, obviously.
So, like, if he had the same exact, like,
not
basically
same exact roster, but obviously Shadur and Travis would have
the main
come
players.
with him.
Dylan Edwards, who he
you would
recruited.
have kept more players at Auburn than you did for Colorado.
They would have the best quarterback arguably in the SEC. They would like maybe be fighting for best in the West, best in that whole conference.
Yeah, I mean, he'd certainly be up for it.
Daniels.
He'd be up for it.
Jaden Daniels right now is clearly the best, and Shadur is right there with him, if not maybe slightly ahead.
They would have had more players again. They would have probably retained 40% of that roster, not the 10%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he would
have
have adopted a way higher base level of talent. He would have brought in the quarterback and the best two-way player in the country, and it's an interesting question. But then again, he wouldn't have baptized a bunch of kids like Hugh Freeze did the other day. You're not going to get, I don't know.
Hugh Freeze.
Actually,
I don't know.
that's
Actually,
not true.
Coach Prime probably would have.
Yeah, Coach Prime's an ordained minister,
yeah.
actually. So he probably would have. That's true. Good point. Never mind. Stand corrected. I still think that Freeze and Auburn are a perfect fit for one another, though. I think that's going to be really good in the long term.
Yeah, I don't think right now. Again, what's the line, 7.5?
Last I saw was 7.
I can see him covering.
I thought it was.
I saw 7.5 A&M.
Yeah, I think I got it at 7 maybe. Any other games that we haven't talked about yet? Oregon State, Washington State. I got
the Left Behind Bowl.
Yeah, the Battle of the Bastards. Jon Snow and Ramsey Bolton.
Yep. That's what Bobby called it on Tuesday.
Really? Oh, look at us.
Pretty
sure. Couple of nerds, couple of meathead nerds.
Bobby's a huge
nerd.
nerd.
I know. It makes me happy. No, I think I like the money line here. That's what it was. I think it was Utah and Wazoo, maybe. No, that wasn't it.
It was
a favorite. It was a favorite. Whatever. The point is, I like the home team here. They're underdogs at home. Pullman's going to be crazy. Give me Wazoo. Get out of here with your Oregon State 11 points a game defense.
I like Oregon State. I like this game to be a hell of a football game. You want to see two teams that feel like they have something to prove.
Yep.
And hey, leave me behind. We'll give you 2 middle fingers on the way out. This game's going to be played hard.
Isn't it kind of sad, though? They're just killing the other team that got left behind.
No.
So, like, somebody.
There can only be one.
Yeah, I guess so.
But there's actually 2 in the Pac-12 next year.
Oregon State's O-line is really good from what I've seen.
Was Nick Cage in the Left Behind movie?
I know Kirk Cameron was.
I know, but I feel like Nick Cage was in a slightly bigger one.
Maybe so. Actually, I feel so. Yeah, I think so.
More Off the Bench. Closing out the show with Ask the Bench coming up next.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552 is the number. When you overthink it, don't overthink it, guys. Just call Central Plumbing and have them come out and take care of all of your plumbing needs. It's not just when you need work, though. They have 24/7 emergency service and a great, gigantic fleet for whatever you need. But how about if you need like a bathroom remodel? You want to get that bathroom of your dreams finally, maybe something like a tankless water heater up to you. It's all there for you. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552.
Yeah, go to the website T-Bob gave you. You'll see right there on the homepage, residential, repairs, commercial, remodeling. They can do it all over at Central Plumbing. Like, no matter what it is. Like if you had a huge job, you own a business maybe downtown, you got the entire floor, it's okay. They come in and they'll be able to handle any work that you need in upgrading or repairs. And certainly they can do your home as well. And they can also upgrade your home. Go tankless today with the tankless water heater we tell you about. Never run out of hot water again. CentralPlumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. and backed by the one-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong. Gulf Coast.
Week 4 in the prep football season, and we get started with Louisiana Prep Preview presented by Brock. Friday night at 6. Catholic High and St. Thomas More kick off at 7, and that's immediately followed by Louisiana Prep Scoreboard presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. It's time for some Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Light. Visit our Tulsa Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Suite. First, I do want to remind you to go to Rejuve Medical. Go get that free consultation today. You can go to RejuveMedical.com, set it up. You want to feel younger, maybe turn it down a little bit. Better, faster, stronger, more energy. You know, if you're having weight gain problems, mood, memory, insomnia, look, you're aging, man, but why not, do some upkeep on your body the same way we do on computers, homes, vehicles, whatever the case may be. You want to go to RejuveMedical.com, get those labs drawn, and look, they've actually, found serious issues while doing that have really helped people as well. So just go get checked out. Doesn't hurt anything to do so. All right, now it's time for Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Light. Visit our Tulsa Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Suite. Worst place to tailgate in the SEC. I'm not good at answering this because I've never really been tailgating too much.
Gainesville was really weak when I went. Florida was down at the time. LSU wasn't good either, but I was really disappointed in the tailgating there.
I will say that from afar, I could feel that. Like, South Carolina was cool as hell. They had these train tailgates. Knoxville had people on the water. We all know Athens is awesome. Florida just felt like a bunch of concrete, but just spread out concrete.
I've never been, but I've heard Florida's bad. I've heard Auburn's not great tailgating wise. And then, people love the Grove. People hate the Grove.
Yeah,
so.
but it's still not going to be worse.
Yeah.
It's not going to be worse.
The Grove is cool for Ole Miss fans, I feel like.
Well, it's cool. It's over the top. I don't love I don't know. It's not a very open environment. It's kind of more like, oh, you're not allowed in here.
Exactly, which is a weird vibe.
But it still has. It's still unique. Like it's still like a sight to behold. The chandeliers and everything. So I think Florida's probably the answer. Mizzou's probably sneaky fun, if I had to imagine.
Yeah, Mizzou looked lit last weekend.
I think Auburn's probably just like redneck fun too. I'd say every time I go to Auburn, just shoot guns, basically skeet, whatever. Just do country stuff, man.
Okay, actually, I kind of want to go to Auburn now.
I'll never forget that. I think you'd fit in great. I'll never forget that. That hot blonde girl I saw put in that dip.
I was about to bring that up
on my visit. That was crazy.
Stuck with
I
you.
don't know how you didn't go to Auburn after that. To be honest with you, T-Bob.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, right? How do you not after that? Ask the bench. Favorite book you read in college for a class? I don't remember having a lot of required reading in college as much. Actually, in my freshman year English class, we read World War Z and then wrote a zombie short story, and I really enjoyed that. It was great.
I don't remember reading any novels in college, man.
I did a lot of recreational reading, but I think that's the only one I can remember reading for school. Brennan Huff, I don't read. Okay. Ask the bench, who are your 8 receivers for 80 yards for $8? Boys, go.
I'll take CeeDee Lamb against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'll take Deebo Samuel this week.
Okay.
I'll take...
Speed it up. You can't look at matchups. Just got to go.
I'll take Amari Cooper against the Titans.
Yeah.
I'll take Amon-Ra St. Brown against the Falcons.
Okay.
How many is that?
It's 4.
I will take Tyreek Hill against the Broncos.
I contribute Mike Thomas versus Packers because it's longer odds, and I think I'll get it.
And I will take Justin Jefferson against the Chargers.
One more.
And I will take Stephon Diggs against the Commanders.
Yeah, I want y'all to write this down. Whatever y'all just said, because I didn't listen. Write it down and let's bet this and see if it works out.
Good thing we recorded it.
Y'all have a great day. Do you have any iPad nighttime reading recommendations for falling asleep? I would say just put a book on tape on with a 15-minute sleep timer. There's stuff too, like the History of Mathematics by the guy that was in Monk. It's very relaxing.
OTB, OT.
It's 30 minutes. It's made to make you fall asleep. You know what else helps you sleep? A nice, cool environment. And you know how you do that? With AccuTemp of Baton Rouge. AccuTempBR.com. They don't call it your comfort zone for no reason, okay? You want to be comfortable when you're snoozing. You want AccuTemp. Take control of your comfort zone. AC, heating, electrical, they got your back, and they got the best customer service. In fact, they live by their credo, ethos, service to the highest degree, to the core of every single thing that they do. It's why they have such incredibly high ratings if you go look at their Google review rating. So, again, take advantage of your comfort zone. Oh, ask about the Star Club membership while you're working with them, and it makes everything even easier. Like, you don't even lift a finger. They stay on top of your system for you. They help you avoid catastrophic issues down the road. You save big money in the end. AccuTemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new 2023 Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family, a front-to-back boat service.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.